All right, guys. Hello, hello. There's a lot of people online at the moment, so I think we're going to come through. So we're going to just let people move over from Wildy Shark over here. So welcome, welcome. Hi, if you're here, guys. Hi. All right, guys. Hey, guys. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes. Wildy Shark is just finishing off his stream. So we're just going to let him do that before we get started. All right, let's bring that audio in as well. There we go.
Related to Twitch, related to BIGTIME, related to BIGTIME Studios or Open Loot. I have done this and have operated this solely by myself. At the same time, I do have to reiterate that I am not a resident or citizen of the United States of America, and I am governed by the laws and regulations that exist only and solely in the country that I reside in at the time being. Turgood TV, man, guys, I'm just so grateful to all of you. All of you guys who did decide to subscribe to me today. Again, it's a huge boost, not only to my confidence as an introvert who decided to step out there into the spotlight in 2019 with NFTs and Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse, but then again, once again, over here on Twitch with streaming. So I do apologize if I'm a little bit rough around the edges. This is the very first time that I'm streaming, and I roughly have only about 5 days of experience, right? So again, Turgood TV, dude, wow.
Damn, with a gifted sub, another 20 gifted subs for Wildy. Amazing.
I'm really lost for words.
Nice.
I truly am lost for words. The only thing that I can promise you guys is that I will try my best to give you guys the best stream. I will try my best to give you guys the best entertainment, and I will try my best to give you guys the best content that I possibly can. Big Daddy Gaming asking chat to play with his balls again. I think they're getting a little bit blue there. DJ Legend TV, thank you so much for the sub, my friend. Thank you. As well as to Happy Cake 1997, as well as AC. And forgive me if I pronounce your nickname
We're just
wrong.
going to let Wildy finish off his stream before we get started, guys. We've got one more marble race.
As well as Terminators 99, Ghostman 92, FPE 7, Dimitaki 1991, Jazzy 29, and that's as far as I can, and Ballistics, Lewis 1988. All right, guys, let's wrap this up with a final game of marbles. Again, this is subscriber only, so if you subscribed, you will be able to type !play. I still see people coming in, and I do want to make sure that my subscribers are able to play with their balls.
Let's just watch the end of this.
TV, thank you so much, my friend. Guys, I'm just overwhelmed. Again, it's for me. I'm very fortunate enough and very grateful to life to be in a place where it's not about the money, right? But whenever I see appreciation or I see good intention and actions like this for something that I've created, it really makes my heart melt. So thank you very much. 20 seconds to go. We're going to give 20 seconds to go. After that, I will start blasting the music, and we will watch those balls fly. Hopefully not in Nightmare's face.
I love the innuendos.
Beginning.
Great stream. So we're just going to wait for the end of this stream. Let Wildy Shark finish his stream, and then we'll talk about the economy, and we'll get started on our big time today.
Let's get this party started.
We do have to do a run through our space today as well. We've got some hourglasses to collect. So I'm not sure. We'll have to check on what time they drop. But yeah, let's just watch this. I think I'm in there. I might not have even got in there. I can't even tell, to be honest with you. There was so many people But amazing. 250 people currently watching on Wildy's stream. Over 330 people at peak that I saw there, which is incredible. Incredible for the community to show up. I think it's amazing.
Largo with its second hourglass.
That would be interesting. I think it's amazing for the community to show up and to watch.
To take the less traveled route here. We all know what happens. Robert Frost told us.
It's looking good. So I want to give a massive shout out to Big Time today. A few things that we have to cover, but Michael from Big Time, thank you ever so much for hosting Wildy on your homepage, for tweeting on the social media, and also for posting in Discord. I think it's when I saw the first stream that Whale did, and I noticed that there was like nobody saw it. There was about 4 or 5 of us watching the stream, the very first one. And I just thought to myself, what an incredible person who people just don't realize yet. They're not aware. So for you to be able to now have that awareness and to be able to watch Wildy Shark, what an incredible guy. A really genuine guy. And I think it's important to understand when you look at people inside the community, sometimes, and I find this, money will magnify the individual. If you're a twat and you come into money, then you just become a bigger twat. If you're a genuinely nice person and you come into money, then you're genuinely, normally, a nicer person. So someone who is a nice person that comes into money will normally go down the road of philanthropy, helping others. Someone who's a twat who comes into money normally starts bragging and talking about themselves and how much better they are. And Wildy Shark is absolutely 100% one of those genuinely nice people. So even though they have been blessed and fortunate enough to come into financial abundance, they're not affected. Their ego is not affected by it in a way, and it's really humbling to see that. And that's why I have so much love and so much respect for Wildy Shark and what they're doing. And I'm glad that you're able to watch that. So we're just going to wait for this to finish now. Looks like it's just finishing. And so we'll welcome everybody across as they come into the stream, and we'll start talking. First thing we're going to talk about today is going to be the update that has just gone out from Big Time. Then we're going to we'll have a quick look at the game, and then we'll talk about the economy and what's happened today, and what we think is going to happen this week. And we're gonna do that. So nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. So, all right. Thank you so much to Wildy Shark for everything you've done on your stream. He does appear to be muted right now. He's talking, but he's muted. I don't think he realizes. All right, 1 second.
Sorry about that, guys. Dude, sorry. As I said, noob streamer. I just wanted to show you guys the leaderboard. I did want to give a huge congratulations out to
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
For the epic win. Amazing. And I do want to thank everybody else who came in over here. So congratulations, Game Master. I think Big Daddy Gaming took your balls. Took your balls because you need to pump them a bit. Anyway.
All right.
I do apologize. I went off.
Let's get into this
now. But congratulations to everybody who participated in the final sub race that we had today. At the same time, a huge congratulations to Grim 5005, Slack Off for coming in second, D Last King coming in third. Aros Largo, sorry buddy, close but no cake. I'm sure you're gonna do better next time. Happy Cake, X-Rated, Rotharn, DC repping well members as our head of gaming and art. Radio Senpai, maybe next time. Big Daddy Gaming, maybe I can help ball pump. Because someone does need to pump his balls. Zorro, Nerd Logic, Newless, Huaning Xiaolang, Elon Ma, Oren06, Micah, Yeah Bro, Why Not, Worst Trader 69, Undisputed Noobs, dude, able to get a very respectable 21st place, even though he's starting off his stream, which we're going to go to pretty soon. Terminators 1999 and Zycos. Guys, before I end this off, This has probably been one of the most amazing times that I've had online as an online personality since I joined the space in 2021. I really want to give a sincere thanks to every single person who followed, who watched, who subbed, who gifted subs today, right? It really does melt my heart when I see, these kind reactions to everything that I'm doing, even though I'm, a streamer with 5 days of experience and rough around the edges. So I really do appreciate that. The last thing that I'd like to say, oh no, sorry, before I do the last thing, for those of you guys who have won one of the races, I want you guys to reach out to Zorro, who's our head of infrastructure at Whale Members. Again, for those of you guys who are interested in things that...
It's really, really good to see Wildy Shark. I think it gives a lot of stability and also hope into the community. I think when people see a whale playing a game and actually being involved, it gives a lot of faith and a lot of hope in the future. So I think it's important.
Membership club in existence. But given that, I want to get to the last thing, which is, beyond all of that, one of the reasons why this stream could happen today is because we have an amazing game. We have an amazing team behind this amazing game. And we have a team that is constantly trying to push the barriers, break the walls, and create something beautiful that the world has not seen before. Right? So, before I end off the stream, and please don't leave, guys, we are going to hop in and get those nuggets of information and those gold nuggets of knowledge from Undisputed Noobs. I really want to give a really heartfelt thanks, as well as a shout out to everybody that is a part of the Big Time community, which includes everyone that plays, as well as all of the OGs who've made this streaming possibility available to all of us.
We're just going to let Wildy Shark finish.
And beyond that, a huge thanks to the Big Time team, core team itself. It's not easy being the first person through the wall. The first person through the wall always gets their head bloodied a tiny bit. Again, guys, before you guys decide to flame within chat, just think about the difficulty in terms of what they're trying to achieve here. This is by no means a message sponsored by Big Time. Actually, I pay Big Time. But, just as someone who has been observing the space for a very long time, that is my attitude, and that is the way that I approach this game, this opportunity, this team, and this community, right? All right, guys, I really appreciate everyone who came in today. And what we will do next is we will do something extremely interesting. I hope you're ready for it, Steve. Here comes the raid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Thank you so much, Wildy Shark. Really, really, really appreciate you and everything you've done this week. It's been absolutely an honor to watch you and everything that you've been doing. So yeah, thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate everything that Wildy Shark does. As I just said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome if you're coming in, by the way. I think it's so important that when you have people who are backing this game, whales, when you have people that are willing to put a lot of investment, financial investment into this game, I think it is really important to show support to those people. And Wildy Shark, and I mentioned this before, I'm going to mention it again, by the way. Hi, if you're coming in. Welcome, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you have, and I've said this before, if you have money, I believe money magnifies the person. So if you are a twat and you come into money, it makes you a bigger twat. I think it drives ego. It drives a lot of mannerisms around people. But if you are a genuinely nice person and you are blessed to come into financial abundance, I think it really makes you a better person. I think it brings out philanthropy. I think it brings out a lot of stuff where people are just magnified. And Wildy Shark is an example, a brilliant example of someone who is blessed financially, but still gives so much back. Not only in terms of his content and his just being a nice person, but also sharing information. He could quite easily keep all of that information to himself and just use it to his advantage, but he chooses to share that information with you, as do I, because we kind of really want you to be able to look at this as a game, but beyond just a game, because running dungeons is one way to play this game, but there are other ways that you can play this game. The marketplace is a game. You know, the economy is a game. The dungeons are a game as well, but there are many, many different games that you can play here. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. I'm not necessarily going to be able to keep an eye on it. Oh, wow. Turgod, you don't have to do that. Guys, you do not have to come in here and sub. I'm grateful for it. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Any subs that come in here, I'm just going to filter back into the community. So you don't have to do it. I'm so grateful if you do it. Thank you so much. But anything that you do, I'm just going to end up giving back because... yeah, I'm not one of these streamers that is clout chasing. I'm definitely not after it for the money side of things. I'm very blessed with the situation that I'm in. Same as Wildy Shark. Obviously not at that level. He's absolutely covered that top level of the market. I'm kind of like a I don't know. I guess if he's a whale and a shark, I guess I'm a stickleback. No, I guess I'll be maybe a carp. You know, like a decent carp that you might pull out of a lake. But yeah, no, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to try my absolute best to keep on top of chat. I am streaming on YouTube as well as Twitch and Twitter live at the same time. So pick your poison, whatever you prefer there. Yeah, I'll be a plankton. I'm good. Do you know what? I'm just happy to be here, guys. I've been around, just so that you know, from day one. I actually I didn't buy into the game at the very start. I bought a gold pass. I think I paid like $6,000 for my gold pass. It was super expensive. But I bought into the game. I played for about 6 to 8 hours a day for 6 weeks. I grinded so hard at the start. I was one of the players that was grinding those NFTs at the very start, and I still hold them all. I never sold anything. I never sold any space. I probably put somewhere in the region of about $40,000 or $50,000 into buying space. And yes, I was buying like exalted small spaces when they were like $2,000 a pop. So I know, I feel the pain as everyone else. I feel the frustrations. I've been here through all the server lags, through all the miscommunications. I've seen it all. I've been here through it all. But I'm still hopeful because I know what it takes to build a game. I used to work in a Web3 project where we built a game. I've seen what bots can do. I've seen what a toxic community can do. I've seen what extractors and guilds can do. I've seen the damage that can happen in Web3. But I'm blessed to have been able to see the good side of things as well. So I've seen a lot of the really good stuff that happens. And this isn't a plug. I'm just kind of showing this to you because, not to impress you, but to impress upon you. My guild is Undisputed Noobs. We're about people before profits. That's not people instead of profits. It's just, we don't want people just to be a number. We believe in being respectful, staying positive, having fun. And I actually have this core ethos that I believe in, which is, if we're going to have guilds, they should really be focusing on mental health, physical health, emotional health, and financial health. So this is what I've always based everything I do on. I've done a lot of work in the Philippines. We do a lot of games. So Axie, Sunflowerland, Million on Mars, Genopets, Honeyland, Legends of Venari, Gods Unchained, D-Race. And I know Gods Unchained is a game that Wildy Shark likes. And Big Time. Obviously coming into Shrapnel, Star Atlas, a lot of other games that we're going to be playing as well. But we did a lot of really cool stuff in the last bull run. We built schools, we helped communities, we repaired villages, we paid hospital fees. We did a lot of really incredible stuff in the last bull run. And I got wrecked like everybody else. Like, I got super, super wrecked in the bear market. I mean, I'm talking, I lost 7 figures. My mental and emotional health, I relate to Wildy Shark, because when he said he needed to take some time away, like I really had to take some time away. Like, it hurt. And I'm just coming back into this now because I've always been here, but I'll be honest, I got embarrassed. Crypto was so embarrassing to me. I did not want to promote the meme coins and the trash that was out there. I was one of these people that believed in the technology, the blockchain technology, like distributed ledger technology. I was in crypto. Fun fact, I was in crypto long before Bitcoin. I was in crypto in 2001, before Bitcoin even existed. I used to work in crypto. We used to use it as a way to send secure communications through military networks. When I was in the UK Army, I used to be in communications, so I worked in crypto. So then when crypto came out and there was this disruption of the financial industry, I was like, oh, I like this. This is cool. But Bitcoin felt like a scam. And everyone says, oh, I wish I bought Bitcoin back in 2011. Most of you wouldn't, because you would have looked at it like most things today and the noise, and you would have been like, nah, this is too good to be true, or it's not going to be anything. So I didn't get into Bitcoin until 2014. I bought Bitcoin when it was like $400. And yeah, I bought a lot of Bitcoin in 2014 when I was married. I sold a lot of Bitcoin in 2015 when I got divorced. GG's, you know, you live and you learn. I got into DeFi around 2020, 2021, and then I started getting into Web3 gaming. Ironically, I got into Web3 gaming as a hedge against a bear market. I don't always get it right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't always get it right. I have a thesis, but, you know, I got wrecked. I was in Luna. I played Luna up from like $4 up to 100. I'm a degen. I was getting 80,000% APR on Wonderland time. Anyone that remembers those? Yeah, lots of stuff. Steve, press M. Press M? Oh, you want to bring the map up? Okay. We can go for a little run through the space if you want, but it's going to take a while. So I'll do a little run through as we're talking. You can see the space. In fact, I'm just going to auto run because it's just, yeah. We can do that. So yeah, I'm just sharing with you so you know, so you understand where I'm coming from, what we're talking about. So there's a few things that I want to talk about today. Let's jump into this, shall we? I can run through the space, but look, I'm not even going to lie to you. You can see on the screen, it takes 20 minutes to run from one end of my space to the other. It's a bit of a journey, and I'm not going to do that all the way because we'll do some races. I actually did some races the other day. It was a bit. It was a challenge, but we did it. But we bought, and I actually gifted NFTs to everybody who took part. So everyone who come into my space, we did a race. It was good fun. We're gonna do it again. If you were there and you were involved in it, thank you again for doing that. So we'll do it again. Not now, not today, because the server lag makes it really difficult. So we'll let them iron things out. And then what we'll do is we'll bring some people in here. We'll do some races. What we'll do is we'll put some things in certain rooms. And then if you find those things, we'll do some giveaways as a result of that. We'll just play some fun. Is BIGTIME Web3 game? Yes, my friend, it is. Oh, wow. Thank you for the hype train, by the way. I just cannot keep up with the chat. I'm going to do my absolute best. I want to. But yeah, if you have codes, do you know what? If you've got codes, just chuck them in the chat. Put them in a chat. If you've got codes and you want to give them away and people want to play the game, chuck them in a chat. It's all right. Try not to spam the chat with codes. But yeah, definitely, if you want to play, you're welcome to. I am an ambassador for BIGTIME. However, that being said, I hold them accountable. I am not going to blow smoke up their arse where it's not deserved. If there's problems, I'm the first one to call out the problems. If they do good things, I'm the first one to say that as well. But you can chuck some codes in if you want. It's absolutely fine. Just don't go crazy because I don't want to have to mute the chat. So just bear in mind, you can put some codes in, but don't go crazy with it. And also for the subs, thank you so much. That is insane. I really, really don't expect the subs. I will be giving all of those back to the community, so thank you so much. All right, let's jump into this. First and foremost, I want to pop over to the BIGTIME Discord. This requires some attention. And the reason for that is because we've been saying for a long time, we want communication. All right, we've said for a long time, we want communication. And there's been a distinct lack of communication. However, Yvonne has been absolutely on it. If we look at the last couple of days, Yvonne said on the 1st, there was an update that went out about performance issues. There was new patches rolling out. And today, Yvonne has done it again. So let's just read this and go through this together. All right, let's go through this together. Hello, everyone. Following the pre-season launch, especially within the first week, many users experienced an unexpected error when attempting to start or complete a craft. Guys, we all know about this. We know what happened. We know as a result of the crafting, there were some problems where people lost stuff. They lost crafting materials. You lost crystals. We know this has been a problem. But just to summarize, TLDR, because we don't need to go through all of this, they basically said we fixed these issues. We implemented additional procedures to better manage them. But over the last week, we've been reprocessing these failed crafts to complete and deliver an item that was originally expected. So check your inventory. If you're affected by this, you're either going to have items or you're going to have refunds. They have sorted it out. They have fixed it. They're working on it. They're making sure it doesn't happen again. So massive, massive shout out to Yvonne and the team for not only making this work, but also on top of that, for being able to communicate that. All right, guys, in the chat, please, no more codes. There's loads of codes out. No more codes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's calm the codes just for a bit now because I don't want to have to turn chat off. Let's just talk about this for a minute because we've all said communication is a problem. We know it is. They know it is. It's a small team that, let's be honest, last month people gave up on this game. You know, you could buy a common Time Warden for $20 on a marketplace. No one cared about this game last month. They turned the economy on and it blew up. And if you remember what happened to Axie when they blew up, they weren't ready. They were pioneers in the space, but they weren't ready for what ensued. And Big Time are in the same boat. They're now kind of, okay, this works. Now things are coming back. We need to adjust. So we have to be respectful and give them a bit of time just to be able to deal with those challenges and come to us with what is going to be a more structured approach to doing things. And I truly believe they're going to do that. The team are incredible people. They are working hard. Yeah, they're making mistakes. Yeah, there's things that they could do better. But overall, I think it's really important to acknowledge the wins when we see them. All right, so yeah, there are bugs, and there's server bugs. I've got issues at the moment. If I go into my inventory, I really, really struggle right now. I've just pressed tab. It's coming up all right at the moment. I mean, I'm still a noob. I'm only ranked 36, but I am very much enjoying the game. I don't really have a massive amount in here, but if I look at my cracked hourglasses, this is right now what's killing me in the game. The team are aware of it. The team are fixing it. This is the challenge, Wildy, that I was talking about here. These cracked hourglasses, they're killing my inventory right now. I can't go into a raid. If I do, everyone in the party crashes. I can't equip hourglasses. It causes a lot of problems. But I'm okay with that. I'm not going to get salty. I'm not going to get stressed. I'm actually grateful that I'm able to test some of these top-end problems so that when you guys get there, you don't have to experience this. I don't want you guys to have to experience these problems. So like with Axie, right? Axie were the pioneers. They went in there. They got the arrows in their backs because everyone was flaming them, but they went first. All right? People like Wildy Shark, people like myself, we're experiencing these problems so you don't have to. And there's so many problems. And I get it. There's no such thing as a rich victim. Just because you've got money, you can deal with it. It's not a problem. I totally get that. But we also experience problems. Like, money doesn't make a person any less impervious to the comments and the reactions that you get from the community. So you get a lot of the community hating on people because they've got money, but you need these people to keep the economy going. Like, you love a whale when they're buying your shit. You just don't like them, you know, when they're flaunting it in front of you. So just, there has to be this balance. All right, so let's just get into this right now. I want to talk about something today, less about the game. We can play some game, but I want to talk about something. Let me just bring this spreadsheet up. So I love spreadsheets. I'm a geek for a spreadsheet. It's true. Let me just bring up my spreadsheet because this is something that I think is important for people to be able to understand. And I want to talk about this so you can get a different perspective here. All right, so let's just do this. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. Now, if you don't like spreadsheets, I apologize. I'm not going to go too deep and too hard into this, but I just want to give you an idea. So first of all, yes, this data is being pulled across from the marketplace. So we're able to see things like what is the current price of the premium currencies and things like that. Talking about premium currencies very quickly, you can see that there are two different options here. I base everything that I do on this baseline. So this means that one premium crystal equals 1 cent. If you are in a position, and not everyone is, but if you are in a position to buy the $500 package, it works out that a crystal is worth 0.007. It adds to your bottom line. Sometimes making money is not always about how you can make more money. Sometimes making money is about how you can protect the bottom line to not lose money. And so this is a really good way for you to be able to protect your bottom line by buying in bulk and getting that discount. So if you're in a position to, at least for the, I would say the 100, if you're going to be investing in this game a lot, getting that $100 option, saving yourself that $35, it makes a difference over time. Rather than just keep buying those $5 options, because if you keep buying those $5 options, it can eat into your profits. So just bear that in mind. So, okay, I'm going to base everything on a worst case scenario. So I'm going to base everything on buying the minimum amount of crystals. That way, any profits that we get is a bonus. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to have a quick look at let's look at the expected value right now of mystery boxes, right? So expected value of mystery boxes that we can see right now. I'm not going to edit that right now. You can see what the price of the box is, and you can see what the expected value of the box is. You can also see the discount on those boxes. Right now, personally, I don't think right now there is any mystery box that is worth purchasing. I don't think there is right now. You might like it. If you like a gamble, great, go for it. But I don't think, like earlier on, if you were quick this morning, like here's the thing, if you saw Wildy Shark sweep up the floor on the common Time Wardens, you could have arbitraged an opportunity where you could have gone and bought the Time Warden gift mystery box. And you could have bought these for like $360, and you could have quickly sold them and flipped them for $400, making a quick $40 profit, minus the 5% marketplace fees, of course, which I believe, can't confirm this, but I believe that buying and selling on the marketplace adds to the leaderboard. The reason I believe that is when you look at people like Adrian on the leaderboard and you look at what they've done, a lot of that is marketplace activity. So I do truly believe that buying and selling on the marketplace, I believe, affects the leaderboard. So if you're able to buy something and sell it, even if you don't make a profit, if you break even, I still believe you'll get leaderboard points. Don't quote me. It's just what I believe. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our Time Wardens. Let's get into this one, shall we? Let's have a look. And I did a post recently on this. How long it takes. It would take you, if you had one Time Warden and you crafted your way up to an exalted, not even a unique. If you crafted your way up to an exalted, let me show you this. I believe where did I put it? Hold on. Maybe it's not on here. I don't think it's on this dashboard. So maybe it's on a different dashboard. I'll have to have a look for it. I worked out. I might even be able to find it on here somewhere. Let me just have a quick look. It's not on any of these. No, I don't think it's on this one. It might be somewhere else. Yeah, I don't have it on here. So I did have another dashboard where I worked out exactly what it cost in terms of hourglasses and what you needed to spend on hourglasses. I don't actually know where that tab is. I seem to have misplaced it. It's all good. But on here I had how many commons, uncommons, etc. it took, and it might be on one of these. I don't think it's on here anymore. It might have been cleaned up. I've got some other people that use this as well, so it probably just got cleaned up. It was one of these sheets. It might be sheet 11. No, it's not that one. No, I don't know where it is. We'll find it. But it might be sheet 26. Nope, it's not that one either. All right, well, it doesn't matter. There's a few sheets on here, so I don't know where it exactly will be, but definitely not ignore me. Rentals, purchase, dungeon. Oh, anyway, my point being is that it would take, if you were to take a one Time Warden and you were to craft your way up to an exalted, it would take you 36 years. That is how long it would take you. 36 years to be able to craft that. Now, obviously, nobody's going to be doing that. That's not possible, but it does give you, it does give you an understanding when you consider like what it's going to take when you're playing this game. And in fact, look, here is the tweet. I've got it here, so I'll bring it across onto the screen so you can see it. So this was a tweet. If you wanted to make one exalted hourglass, you would need 4 mythics. 4 mythics needs 16 legendary. That needs 64 epics, which needs 256 rare, which needs 1024 uncommon, and that requires 5,120 common hourglasses. That's 28 years, sorry. 28 years with one Time Warden. So there's going to be a lot of people at the higher end who are going to be buying these commons. There is a market here for common Time Wardens. And so at the moment, when we look at this, it costs right now $2.50. It costs $2.50 to be able to produce a common hourglass. That means, although it takes 48 hours, you are able to sell it right now. Last sale price, $12.50. That means you're making $9.50 profit straight away. $9.50 profit straight away. if you were to be able to get 5 and you were to buy 5 commons and sell them for an uncommon at 95, which is not necessarily the floor, but roughly, you're making $26 profit. So yeah, there's 5%. We all understand the convenience of being able to sell it that way. And look, you don't have to use the big time marketplace. You don't have to. You could take your NFT, you could extract it to your wallet, and you could sell it to somebody using a third party. Somebody could even build a third party. You could build a better marketplace than OpenLoot, and you could allow people to extract that way. I'm just saying there's opportunity there. It's no one's probably going to use it at the moment. It's too inconvenient with Ethereum fees. But my point is, there are ways that you can do things. So if you don't like the 5% in OpenLoot, you don't have to do it. You can work around it, but it's an inconvenience and people probably aren't going to go for it. So just bear that in mind. And then you look at the recharging rates, okay? So there's definitely money to be made here. For me at the moment, I looked into the Forge. We can see what things are buying and selling for at the moment. In order to craft right now a unique item, the crafting cost for a unique item right now is about $750,000. $750,000 to be able to craft a unique item right now, roughly. Obviously, there's factors that are going to change this, but you get to see how expensive this is on the top end here, all right? $750,000 for a unique armor. So incredible money on the top end of things. So I just want people to be aware of that if you're looking at the marketplace, there's definitely opportunities to be had. There are. And if we pop over to OpenLoot and we have a quick look, so just pop over to OpenLoot at the moment and we'll go to the marketplace, sorry. All right, now here's another thing that you really have to bear in mind when you're looking at the marketplace. If you buy and sell things, you might sell something, but just because you've sold it doesn't mean it's going to be available. You've got this like pending transaction amount where you might have sold something and now you have to wait a day, maybe even 2 days, just for that to be available. So it doesn't mean just because you sell something, you're instantly going to get the money. You need to bear that in mind as well. So if you are doing stuff like that, you just have to wait and bear that in mind. But let's have a quick look at the Time Wardens. So Time Wardens at the moment, if we have a look at Lunar Time Wardens, and let's also go up and have a look at something like the Exalted, because I think these are really good metrics. You can kind of see just by looking at the Lunars right now. Now, I know there's no price history. The reason there's no price history is because bots were abusing the API. Now, whilst this doesn't fix the problem, it temporarily alleviates the problem. What that means is they have removed the market history. They've removed the API that shows the market history because it has removed the ability for some bots that were abusing the marketplace. It will come back. They are fixing it, but just bear in mind that's why it's missing right now. It won't fix bots, but it will definitely help at the moment to remove the bots. But look at this. So the marketplace yesterday for common Time Wardens was $350. The floor right now is $400. Now, earlier on today, the floor was $470. So the floor earlier was $474. This one. This was the floor. There was only about 10 Time Wardens. And that is because our good friend Wildy Shark decided to go and buy up the floor. You never know. You never know when a whale is going to jump into this game and sweep the floor. You never know. And so I want to quickly just talk to you about opportunity cost. Is it worth having an asset outside of the game on the marketplace, sitting there listed, waiting for someone who may or may not come and buy? Or is it better for you to have that asset inside the game working for you? The opportunity cost right now for me with a common Time Warden is about $1 per hour. I can generate about $1 per hour on a common Time Warden. That means if we were to take that over the course of maybe 10 days, you're talking about $200 roughly. And that's not every minute of every hour of every day. That's just being active and playing. So now, am I going to make more than $200 on the marketplace, or should I just keep it and use it? I'm going to go up in the leaderboard. I'm going to be able to get that residual income, if you like, from the cracked hourglasses. So yeah, you have to consider that. So the floor now, I did sell a few of my Time Wardens the other day for 390. In fact, Wildy Shark was kind enough to buy 2 of them. But the opportunity cost that I've now lost as a result of that is that $1 an hour from those 2 Time Wardens. I'm not now getting that. And so I'm absolutely looking to sweep the floor. I'm absolutely looking to come in here and to buy up a big portion of this floor. And I've got the funds waiting to come in. They're currently outside of the game because, look, as much as I love Big Time, security is everything. And I want you to understand this. You've heard it before. Sometimes the biggest threat to a person is themselves. And what I mean by that is often we become very complacent, and complacency is a killer. Sometimes you'll be so busy, I'm just going to sign a transaction, click shit. It happens. Complacency is a killer. And so you absolutely must take into consideration at all times, if it is not your keys, it is not your crypto. If it is not your keys, it is not your crypto. What do I mean by that? I don't keep a lot of funds on OpenLoot. I don't keep a lot of funds on anything that is centralized in terms of an exchange, anything that can be frozen, anything that can be hacked. I have hundreds of wallets and I have many of them segmented, and I'm not going to go into my security processes, but what I will say is I use a Trezor. And the reason I use a Trezor over Ledger or anything else is because I believe that the hidden password feature on a Trezor is the most valuable asset inside crypto today. I could have a ledger, and I have a ledger. If I had the seed phrase to that ledger, I could bypass the ledger. Most people think, oh, because I've got this hardware wallet, you can't hack me because you need this. No. If I have the seed phrase to this, I can access your funds without this device. The only reason the hardware wallet is actually valuable is because the seed phrase never enters the computer. You never type anything into the computer. That's the only reason it's valuable. Aside from that, if you've connected your hardware wallet to MetaMask or to any other hot wallet, you're as open to being hacked as just having a standard hot wallet. Just so you know. I always recommend people have their funds stored in a non-custodial secure wallet using something like Shamer's Secret Sharing, SSS. Go onto Google, type in Shamer's Secret Sharing and learn how to deal with that, because it's a very good way. Now, that being said, I know friends in the Philippines where it's actually more beneficial for them to use an exchange because their house is more likely to get flooded and they're more likely to have a situation where they lose their seed phrase if it's written down. So sometimes it is beneficial for some countries to not have something written down. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot we can talk about in terms of security and things like that. And we can do that on another stream. But I don't keep a lot in here, but I'm definitely looking. So what are my factors right now? What are the things for me that I'm looking at? Well, we know that in a few days' time, and in fact, let me just go over to the absolute most this for me is the most underutilized resource that you all have available to you. You could all be using this right now, and 99% of the people inside the game don't. So if you do one thing on this stream, this is the best advice I can give you right now. Go across to community on the bigtime.gg website. Go across to the community and scroll down to wiki. Now, this is outdated, but it is still a wealth of knowledge. And most people have not spent the time reading through this. In fact, had I spent the time to update myself, because I bought space, because I thought space was valuable. I did not stay updated, and that was my fault, because if I was updated, I'm telling you now, I would have bought Time Wardens at $20. I absolutely would have swept that floor. I would have bought everything because I wasn't aware, because I was out the loop. That was my own fault. I learned the hard way. So wiki, even though it's outdated, and by the way, I am in a process, even though time is limited, I am in a process of making a community wiki. I would love for people to get involved in that. I'm going to speak to the guilds. I want to make a community wiki. And I've started to. I have actually started to build one. So if any of you know Fandom, Fandom is a website where you can make like Wikipedias and things like that. I've actually started to make a big time fandom Wikipedia. I say started to make. I've set it up. I haven't built it yet. So I do think that it's going to be valuable for the community to be able. I think the community are knowing how the team are struggling at the moment with communication. I think it falls upon the community to keep people updated, and so I think a community wiki is the way forward here. And so yeah, that's going to be something I'm working on, and I'll limited time at the moment, but I will do that. So anyway, why is the wiki so important today? Well, let's have a look in the economy overview, and let's scroll down to workshop mystery boxes. Okay, and from here, let's have a look, and I think it might even be in. No, it's actually in airdrops. Sorry, it's in airdrops. This is the postcard airdrop. Okay, this is the first thing you need to be aware about this week. The first thing you need to be aware of this week is this. Updated. The postcard redemption tool has been updated to allow for a single postcard redemption. And this will contribute towards the postcard airdrop. Why is this important? I have a video on YouTube. If you want, go onto YouTube, check out Undisputed Noobs, check out the Big Time playlist, and I posted a video about postcards and exactly how you can get them. Now, I'm sorry, since I posted that video, people have swept the floor. I was able to buy postcards at $4. They're now $10. I'm sorry. Nothing you can do about that. It's probably not a good idea to follow that video now. But that being said, you should be aware of this date. For the postcard airdrop, we will factor in redemptions that have been made up until the cutoff date of the 6th of November. Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently the 3rd of November. That means we have 3 days. 3 days until this airdrop. The airdrop will be sent out shortly after the cutoff date. Now, shortly. Could be a day, could be a week, could be a month. Who knows? But let's just assume it's within a week. Let's just assume. Shortly is a very fluid term, okay, from the Big Time team. So there's no hard date when the airdrop will go out, but we know it's going to be shortly after the cutoff. What does that mean? Well, have a look at what people are going to get from this airdrop, okay? If you've got the Times End set, the Paradox set, the Siphon set, or the Infinity Vault set, you're going to get a Time Warden gift mystery box. What does that mean? Well, how many postcards are there? That's the first thing you need to work out. You have to have a look at the max supply. So at the moment, in terms of, and we're not going to include bronze in this because bronze doesn't count. So we're only going to, and this is the loyalty tier box, right? The max supply here. So ignoring bronze, but looking at silver, gold, mystery, and platinum. Well, silver, it's just silver, gold, and platinum. All right, we're looking at 2,500. 2,500 max supply. That means that there is about to be 2,500 common Time Wardens. 2,500 common Time Wardens entered into the market, into the economy. And so, what do you think will happen to the supply, to the price of Time Wardens when these are introduced? Now, not everyone's going to sell them. Some of them will use them. But ultimately, there will be bleed through that will come into the marketplace. And for those of you that don't understand or don't know, when there is a flood of supply with little demand, the price will typically go down. And I actually did a video on this morning. I talked about this. In fact, let's just talk about this right now. See, earlier on, the price was $474 for a common Time Warden. Wildy Shark, doing God's work, went out there, swept the floor, which you all love, by the way. You all love Wildy Shark when he goes out and he sweeps the floor because you're like, thank you, be my exit liquidity. You love it. But look at what happens. The community, they shoot themselves in the back. You do yourself a disjustice in a way because FOMO kicks in. Oh my God, this is a really good price. I want to sell this. I'm not going to wait because someone's listed it for 474. I'm going to sell it for 473. Ha 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 ha. Actually, no, someone comes in and undercuts you 472, 471, 470, 469, 455, 420. Well, hey, I'd buy the one at 420 just for the memes. But my point is this. People start to undercut themselves. Now, this is when you look at, let's just go ahead and quickly open up TradingView because I want to talk about this as well. When you look at the markets and you look at candles on a market, my TradingView isn't opening up at the moment, so just bear with me. You'll always see in the marketplace, and hopefully this will open up on BIGTIME if I've done this right. Well, hey, you see it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. This bit here, where it's kind of going up and down like this is just human psychology. It's simply human psychology. And we're going to, by the way, I'm going to talk about TA and why you should never, ever, ever do it on a utility token or a gaming token, why you should never, ever, ever do it on a token in Discovery, and then I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. So, yeah, do as I say, not as I do in some instances. But we'll talk about this in a minute. But the whole idea of this ebb and flow up and down is because of this, because of the psychology of people who want to undercut each other. Now, if you look, what happened is it got to a point where people said, wow, this is expensive, I'm going to sell. And they start to sell. And then what you get on the other side of it is people go, like people like myself, people like Whale will come in and go, no, that's too cheap. And we'll just sweep the floor. And then you'll find a new baseline. Yesterday, the baseline was $350. Today, because of Whale's actions this morning, the baseline is now $400. Now, we got many wardens at a $10 floor back in the day. Crazy how much things. Do you know what? Evermore wardens, you are blessed. Absolutely blessed and deserved. You absolutely deserve it because you was on the ball when other people weren't. And I think that is where, see, I never sold anything, but I did take my eye off the ball. When I got wrecked and when I lost that, losing 7 figures, if you've ever been in a situation where you've lost money before, and I don't care if it's $10, $100, $1,000, when you lose more than you're comfortable losing, it affects you mentally, it affects you emotionally, and it affects everything in your life, from your family to yourself. You go through a discovery phase, and that's where I went. As a result of that, I had to limit my exposure to what was going on. And so I wasn't watching. I wasn't aware. I didn't know the game updated. I didn't even know that workshops were a thing. I bought my space. I held my space because I'm an OG and I'm a diamond hand. I still have my original Axie. I have every single Axie. I've never sold any Axies. I've still got Axies. I was paying like 0.05 at ETH. At one point, I was paying $1,000 for free Axies. I was breeding Axies back in the day. Like, yeah, it was difficult. It was really difficult. And so I don't sell my assets. And in fact, just quickly, because this is interesting, I had a game studio that I invested 6 figures into a while back, and they're struggling, really badly struggling. And the owner is in that mental and emotional turmoil. And they said, look, if you want to sell your assets, I understand. And I said, why would I do that? Why would I sell my assets on a project that's struggling? All I'm going to end up doing is offloading onto a schmuck. Somebody who is not aware is going to end up buying my assets. And then from a moral perspective, I'm going to feel like shit because I've screwed someone over because they bought crap. I don't mind selling assets to people if those assets are valuable. I'm not going to sell crap as exit liquidity. And that's exactly what happened in Sunflower Land. When I was in Sunflower Land and they got hacked, the reason that I said at the start that I'm going to stay behind was because I would be exit liquidity for everyone else, and everyone else could leave because I'm not leaving. Hey, Wildy Sharkman, thank you so much. I didn't even expect you to be around for so long after your stream ended. I know you got a lot to do and you're busy. Thank you so much for the raid. Again, I genuinely, really, really do appreciate you. You're an amazing guy. I'm so looking forward to having a chat. Check your Discord. I spoke to BIGTIME earlier. They want to do an event, and me, you, and BIGTIME can do an event together. And if you're up for it, it's going to be amazing. So yeah, we can do that together if you want to. Someone says my voice is low. Sorry, maybe your speakers are low. My voice should be okay. I'm sorry if it's low, but my voice should be okay. But yeah, enjoy your food, my friend. Absolute respect for you, and thank you ever so much for everything you do. You're an incredible guy. I think Wildy Shark is doing such an important thing at the moment in instilling confidence and giving some security and some, I would almost say, peace of mind right now. I think that absolutely right now, there is a lot of uncertainty. We're expecting a bull market. We don't know if it's coming. We're not getting communication from the team as much as we want. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of fear, a lot of FUD. There's a lot of just panic. And I think when a whale comes in and just shows up consistently and delivers for the community, I think it instills that trust into the project, into the game, into everything. So I don't think that Wildy Shark really understands just how valuable they are showing up on stream. I really don't think, because they don't have to. Like, Whale is at a point where he does not need to do this. He is doing it for you guys. And I think that it inspires me to do this. Like, I had no intention of streaming today. I had no intention of stream. I can't really play the game at the moment because of the lag in the game. It's difficult. And so there are so many, like Donfather as well. You're incredible what you're doing, what you do, what Wildy does, Evermore Wardens, what you're doing. And in fact, Evermore Wardens, you've already made so many incredible things. I've looked at your wiki. I know that you've got a lot of stuff out there as well. There's so many incredible people out there. And I love playing with you guys and seeing all of you guys and jumping into streams and raids. You know, there's so many incredible people that I want to that do this with as we move forward. One series that I'm going to launch, I'm working on at the moment. I want to record a few episodes before I launch it. I'm going to do Big Time Cribs. I've talked about this with a few other people. I've decided I'm just going to go and do it. I'm going to launch Big Time Cribs, where I'm going to go through some of the biggest whales in the game. We're going to go through their metaverse, look at their space. We're going to do like an MTV style cribs where we just go around and we just look at their spaces. And Wildy has already said we're going to do it, which is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to making a fun little series, just a bit of a laugh. So we'll do that in the near future. But yeah, coming back to this, you can see the psychology here, right? I fully expect with this supply that's going to hit the market in a few days' time, hopefully, that this price might go back down. We could see $250, $300. It's possible. But, and this is what Whale was talking about earlier, what is the opportunity cost of listing this? All of these people right now that are listing, the only chance they've got of selling these is if a whale sweeps the floor. If a whale comes in and sweeps the floor, yes, they'll sell. Otherwise, there's just not really a huge demand right now. Not a huge demand. And so it'll come. It will. It's just going to take some time. We just have to wait. And it only takes one guild. It just takes one guild who is not involved in Big Time, who says, we're going to come in. We're going to come in with, I don't know, 50 grand, and we're just going to sweep up the floor. And they're going to buy up assets. Who are they going to buy them from? You. They're going to buy them from you. So that's what we're kind of waiting for, those guilds to come in. The challenge with a guild coming in right now is, respectfully, and I mean this respectfully, most guilds, and I don't know many guilds, that are doing things differently. I know we tried to, but we struggled. Most guilds, they operate on a scholar basis that is focused on extraction. Now, what's beautiful about this game is that even if you extract from this game, you still have to give back to do so. This is very much one of those games that is a pay to earn game, rather than a play to earn game. So you still have to pay to be able to do that. So YGG only has spaces for now. Exactly. YGG only has spaces. Merit Circle has spaces. I've spoken to Merit Circle. I've spoken to YGG. I've spoken to Polka Starter. These guilds, they bought spaces. Same as me, same as everyone else. We bought space. We didn't buy workshops. So that is why workshops are absolutely pumping right now. Something else I've been doing recently, I've been sweeping the floor for armories and forges. I might be wrong, but when I see mythic forges and mythic armories for $100, that to me is no different to seeing a Time Warden at $40. Seeing a mythic armory at $100 to me is no different to seeing a Time Warden at $40 or $50. I think that, and the team have already said this, there's going to be a huge focus on crafting in the future. I have been sweeping those forges, legendary and mythic, from $50 to $100. And I've been doing it all day long. Something else I'm doing, and I don't mind sharing this with you. I might be wrong. But I'll show you. Again, I might be wrong. But one thing that I've started to do here is I've started to buy up a load of these uncommons. So these are origins, right? And look, I've started buying loads of them. Why? Well, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's a mistake. But I believe that the team owe some love to the origins. I think that a lot of the origin items have been overlooked. And right now, some of these origin items, you can pick them up for $2. So, what if, and I might be wrong, but what if in the future they allow crafting of origin items? I know I can go up to an exalted axe because I spent $100 sweeping the floor at $2. I'm not saying it'll work. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I have enough of these axes that I know that I can craft my way up to an exalted. I might be wrong. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does happen, I'm ready for it. So that's just one little thing. Like the origins is one little thing. Buying up the mythics and the legendaries is one little thing. The armories is one little thing. Getting the cracked hourglasses is one little thing. Renting out some space is one little thing. There are many little things. And the whole purpose of doing this, and Wildy Shark talked about this earlier, it's really about protecting yourself from any one particular element. You don't know when the market's going to crash on Time Wardens. You don't know when the market's going to crash on a token. You don't know what's going to happen. And so trying to ascertain potential future things that might happen, if you're buying into the meta, you're too late. The people that make the money in this game are the people that preemptively plan for the next meta. What is the next meta going to be? And for me, they've already said crafting. We know crafting has to be a big part of the game. We know we've got mounts. Mounts are not in the game yet. We know there's a lot of things that are going to come that are not here yet. There's very, very possibly going to be a new workshop. There's possibly going to be a new workshop where we'll be able to craft mounts and stuff for the mounts. It might be done in the armory, but it might not. We don't know. So even and so you're at Domfather, you're spot on. Having a diverse portfolio is absolutely vital. You absolutely must do that. But here's the thing, right? Here's a lesson I learned the hard way. I bought into Luna very early. As well as buying into Luna, I bought into what was their stable token, right? So you had Luna, and you also had I can't remember what it was called now. It's been that long. I've tried to blank it out. But Luna and the stable, there was a stable token. Was it Terra? There was some. I can't remember what it was. One of you will have to let me know in the chat. But there was a stable coin. It was like TUSD, was it, or something? I can't remember what it was now. USTC, anyway, whatever it was, I bought a load of that. I had Anchor, so I bought Luna. I had Anchor. So here's what I was doing. I actually did a video on this a long time ago. I was staking my Luna. I was getting Anchor as a result. I was getting paid for my loan. I wasn't getting 20% yield on Anchor. I was getting 160. I was getting 160% yield on Anchor. I was in it before it was popular. And so that was one of those opportunities where I was making a lot of money because as I said, I bought into Luna quite early. I bought Luna at $4. I sold Luna and I put in a big amount, like a decent chunk of money into Luna at $4. I cashed out of Luna at $80. So I took massive profits from Luna at $80. I also left a lot of money on the table and I rode that down to zero. So I got wrecked as well, but I did take profits because it's vital to take profits. Now, in saying that, a lesson I learned is I didn't just get hurt on Luna. I got hurt on Luna, UST, that was it, UST. So I got hurt on Luna, I had UST, I had Anchor. It's not just about having, like, you could say, oh, but I was diversified, right? Because I had different assets. If those assets are in the same ecosystem and the ecosystem goes down, it doesn't matter. Same here. You could be holding BIGTIME, you could be holding NFTs, space, armories, workshops, skins. If BIGTIME goes down, it all goes down. So you still need to diversify away from BIGTIME, and I recommend that. But within big time, you can also diversify as well. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's all I'm saying. Anyone who is emotionally reacting to the situation in the markets is over leveraged. You have too much exposure. If anything that happens in a marketplace affects you emotionally, you're too exposed. It's as simple as that. And so you just need to check in with yourself and make sure that you are playing within your means, you know. And Wildy Shark did a great example of this by saying, look, $5,000, I'm comfortable that if I lose this, I lose it. If it goes, it goes. But if I'm able to make something of it, then great. So first thing you need to do, I used to play poker professionally. The very, very first thing that you need to learn when you play poker, beyond the cards, beyond reading people, beyond anything else, is bankroll management. You cannot, it is impossible to be a good, consistent poker player without bankroll management. It's impossible. You might get lucky, but you will not be consistent. So bankroll management. After that, you learn pot odds. You learn probability. You learn expected value. And then you learn how to play the game, and then you learn how to read people. You have to understand the maths. The maths is the best way for you to be able to prepare for that. And so with that being said, I just want to quickly, whilst we're talking about statistics, let's have a look at this token. Now, you should never, ever, ever, ever do technical analysis on a gaming token. You should never, ever, ever do technical analysis on a token in discovery. You should never, ever, ever do technical analysis on anything that is so centralized that they can pull a lever and change it without even telling you. You just shouldn't do it. So let's do it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's have a look at the token and see where we are. I just want you to know that I don't recommend this. I do it because it's another point of consideration. But I don't look at this and go, oh my God, look, there's a Head and Shoulders. Obviously, this is going to happen as a result of that. No. I do base a lot of my decisions on what the market is doing from a human psychology perspective. And I do look at this because I think that there are patterns here. There are things that you can see as a result of that. This just allows me to understand the mindset of the community. That's all this does. At any point, this can be changed. Data in a Web3 game is so entertaining. I love it. I really do. And again, I don't want you to rely on this as fact. Okay, this is an indicator. It's one of many. If you ever look at anyone on social media who says, "Hey, I did this thing and it worked," it wasn't that thing that worked. It was a lot of different things and that thing that worked. So this is another thing here. I've got buy orders in at big time as well. I've got buy orders in at 5 cents. I still fully stand by the fact that I think that it is totally overvalued at the moment, and who knows how long it's going to stay there. Haber Swift, good to see you, my friend. Great to see you, in fact. So here we go. Hot off the press, postcard redemption extended until the 20th of November. Is that confirmed? Let me check inside the Discord. Is that... Yes, confirmed. Hot off the press indeed. Let's look at this. All right. Hello. We would like to know that we're extending the postcard redemption airdrop cut-off date to the 20th of November. This gives you extra time to ensure your postcard redemptions are all set. We are committed to making this process as seamless as possible and look forward to seeing more of you participate. This changes everything. Okay, let's just talk about this right now before we talk about anything else. This changes everything. 20th of November. This means that the postcard redemption is going to happen after the first unlock. The first unlock, which means we're going to see the token unlock first before the postcard redemption, which means that we're going to see look, what is the postcard redemption going to do? It's going to provide an additional supply of Time Wardens into the marketplace. All right, that's the main thing it's going to do. Postcards are something that were done a while ago. There's actually on the wiki. If you were here at the start, I mentioned to you at the start, check out the wiki. Very valuable. Postcards, it was something that was done for early adopters. You can buy them. You need to buy them on Binance. I have a whole video on YouTube. Go to Undisputed Noobs. Check out my Big Time playlist. And there's a thing on there called Postcards. Or check out my Twitter. I posted it already. There's a whole video on everything you need to know about this. If you can't use Binance, unfortunate, but yeah. So what you would basically do is you would come along to here, you would click on your thing on redemption tool. On your redemption tool, you would redeem your postcards, you would connect your wallet, and once you've connected your wallet, it would tell you, it's making me log in and do some crazy shit. I'm not going to do that, so just don't worry about that right now. But basically, it would then say to you, hey, you know, your, I wonder if I can actually, let me see if, no, it's not going to let me. Okay, so it would then say you've redeemed X amount, okay? You might not be able to buy them, and if you can't, just, it's one of those things, don't worry about it. If you can get a whole set, it's definitely worth doing a set if you can, because the reward boxes are better. If you can do a set, you're guaranteed a Time Warden if you can do a set. You're also going to get a bonus mystery box. Now, the thing that you need to consider about this is what you get as a result, right? So, if you do 20 randoms, you're going to get $10 worth of time crystals. If you do a set, you're going to get at least $25, maybe $50, or even $100 worth of time crystals. But then also, you've got to look at what you're going to get. You're going to get a rare title as a minimum, but maybe you're going to get a legendary. And you're also going to get a decoration around postcards. All right, so these are going to be limited in supply. There's not that many of them. Look, I'm not going to tell you if it's a good idea or not. I personally bought 40 postcards at $4 each. That's what I did a couple of days ago. Then I made the video, and now they're like $10 or something. So I'm sorry, I apologize, but it is what it is. So I don't necessarily think it's a good idea, because if you get the bronze, you're not going to get a Time Warden. In fact, if you get the bronze, what you are going to get is 2 bonus gift mystery boxes. You might get a Time Warden. But the bonus gift mystery box, if we go ahead and we look at the workshop mystery boxes, and we scroll down. So the bonus, where are they? Bonus gift mystery box is a common, guaranteed to be a common. Now, 45% Armory, 45% Forge, 10% chance for Time Warden. Armory's common at the moment, $15. So you're getting a $30 minimum. $30 minimum there. Plus you're getting $10 worth of time crystals. That's $40 worth. So this alone, here, and you get, so that's $15 for a common, worst case scenario. So that's $30 right now. Plus you're getting the other box as well, which is this, which gives you $10 worth of these, a title and a decoration. So you're basically paying somewhere in the region of, I would say, $60 for a title and a decoration. It's going to be rare to legendary. And you might possibly get the roll where you get a Time Warden. That's if you were buying them at $5 each. I don't think it's worth buying them. If you redeem full sets and you've only got the 2 hats, yeah, that's at the moment. So Spicy, that's at the moment. The rest of it won't come until they close it off, which they've just extended. So it'll come. It will come. By the way, buying a full set is difficult. You can buy 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 6 in a set. It's easy to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But buying number 1, most of those sets at the moment, buying number 1, you're going to end up paying somewhere like, you're probably going to end up paying somewhere like $1,000 at least for that. So just bear that in mind. All right. So why does that change things right now? Because that supply of Time Wardens isn't going to hit the market until after the unlock. You have to bear in mind, and we've talked about this before, you have to bear in mind that the unlock that is going to happen on the leaderboard happens in 4 stages. Okay, so you've got 4 stages, and a lot of people don't realize this. So when we look at the leaderboard, and I don't even remember where, here we go, leaderboard airdrop. So if we have a quick look at the leaderboard and we scroll down and we look at the table, here we go. Right, so 4 airdrops in total. 4 airdrops. That means there's going to be vesting. It means you're going to get a drop initially of 25%. Now, if we look at how much is being rewarded, and we look at how much there is per airdrop, okay? So if we look here, there's 1 person on tier 7. Tier 7 is $1 million, okay? 4 people are going to get 300,000. 20 people are going to get this. If you work it out, it's something in a region of about $1.2 million at the moment. Something in a region of about $1.2 million. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, buddy? I absolutely am making Star Atlas content. I'm going to be doing content on both games. I love both games. But I will make some more Star Atlas content for you. And I'm sorry I've been a little bit quiet on that. There's been so much noise around Solana with Breakpoint and what's going on with Star Atlas at the moment. I kind of wanted to let the dust settle before I jump back in, but I absolutely will. And I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much. And sorry, it's just been a lot of big time recently, but yeah, there's been a lot to cover. So yeah, looking at this at the moment, we're going to see this unlock first. Now, what's this going to do to the token price? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing. But let's have a quick look here. So in ignoring the initial launch, because I don't think anything that we see here really matters. This is the typical launch and recorrection that we see. We see it all the time. Every single launch does this. So it did launch. I don't have any of the previous data on here, but it launched at 7 cents. So it actually launched like down here. It went up and it come back down. And that is absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. So now what we have to do is we have to look at, well, okay, where are we? So cutting off everything at the start that we can see here and considering from this drop here, this is where it started its sideways channel. All right, so I am only really interested in data from there. To me, anything else doesn't really matter. I'm not even going to consider it. So let's just shut all of that out for the moment. And let's just make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see. Right, okay, cool. So here we go. Hopefully this is useful for you guys, by the way. I won't spend too long on this. Now, the way that this works when you're doing technical analysis is every time a candle hits a point, it becomes stronger. So very, very quick 2-minute TA lesson. The trend is your friend until the bend at the end. What does that mean? Well, we know this is going down until it's not. We know this is going up until it's not. So the trend, the way it's going, is your friend and you act upon it until it's not. When a trend breaks a trend line, normally you will have what is called a Kobo. Kobo stands for kiss off, bugger off. Okay, now I can give you a perfect example of a Kobo because it actually happened here. So let's have a look at what I mean by a Kobo. So in terms of a Kobo, what I mean is, as you can see here, we were trading up. Okay, so the trend is our friend and this is the bend at the end. And then after the bend at the end, when it breaks this line, then we get what's called a Kobo. A Kobo means kiss off, bugger off. So it breaks the trend, it kisses the trend, and it buggers off. That is a Kobo. Very, very basic technical analysis lessons to learn here, okay? So we can see we have a trend. We can see it broke the trend. It kisses off and buggers off. All right, so bearing this in mind, this is all valuable knowledge. It's all really good for you to understand this. And TradingView is a great free website. You get loads of pop-ups, but you can get a free account to use. It's absolutely fine. I would say right now that this was a trend. And the way you can identify a trend, let's just get rid of this and we'll redraw it. Okay, let's just get rid of that one and we'll get rid of this one. All right, so the way that you can tell a trend is because, and you really want to be working on the daily, the 1 day, and then at the worst case scenario, the 1 hour. Don't go down to the 1 minute. Don't go down to the 15 minute. I mean, these are not ideal. But then, as I said, don't do this on a gaming token anyway. So the idea for a trend line to be relevant is the more points that it passes through, the stronger the line. Okay? Very, very simple. So here, we can see here we have a point. It then here as well. And here. Okay? Now, it actually breaks straight through this point, but at one point it touched this point as well. But here we go. We can see we've got these 3 here. The more it breaks, the more it touches, the stronger it is. Okay? And so what you can end up doing is you can end up drawing these lines and you can only work on the information you've got. It's a thesis. It constantly evolves and it constantly changes. So here, what we saw, and this is another thing, last thing I'm going to show you on this, is the skimming stone analogy. The skimming stone. If you skim a stone along water, it will do this until a point where it will do this, and then eventually it will do this. Okay? So again, it will go like this, like this, like this, like this. Let's see if we can see that anywhere. Boing, 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 plop. Yeah? It works both ways. So if you bear that in mind, this is normally pretty solid as a basic level to be able to just make some very basic assumptions. Now, using what I've just told you, here we can see there is a line here. Okay, so we can see, look, we've hit this line here. We actually hit it here as well. We broke through it here, but there's a little bit of resistance around it here. We've also hit it here. There's a lot of play around it here. It's also here. So we can see right now that this green line is pretty relevant. It's known as resistance. The token struggles to get above this line. It hits it, it breaks down. It hits it, it breaks down. It hits it, and actually it breaks through. And when it breaks through resistance, it doesn't just break through, it smashes through. Okay? But then it's not sustainable, so it comes back down, it smothers this line, and then it breaks back down again. And then it can't make it, it can't make it, it can't make it. So we know that 16 cents is a hard resistance for us. All right? To the point where I'm actually quite comfortable making this line a little bit thicker. All right? This is a good line. We know that this line is hard resistance. On that same note, we know we have a hard, at the moment, we have a hard support. So if resistance is the top, support is going to be the bottom, okay? So we know right now that we also have this at the bottom. So now we know that we can't really, at the moment, go under 13 cents. Now, that's not to say we won't ever do it, but for now, if we go under 13 cents, we can expect all new territory down here. Now, what is something that can cause us to go under 13 cents? A leaderboard unlock, maybe? A dumping of the token? Some controversy, you know, team member running off with some funds? I don't know. Anything could happen. It could be an event. But normally it's going to take an event for that to happen. And if that happens, we're going to find a whole new undiscovered range. But otherwise, apart from that, what are we going to do? We're pretty much going to trade within this range. And we can see this band. And this is what happens at the moment. So let me just remove, and I'm gonna shut up about this now, but I think this is so valuable for you to learn because this affects the marketplace. It really, really does. Short term. And it allows you to, and look, let me just give you let me just give you an example of how I've been using this information. So I've been trading the marketplace. Now this is a really, really good website. It's called Dashloot. Doesn't really work very well at the moment simply because of the API issue. But Dashloot has been an incredible tool for me. So right now, I own 41 items, of which 20 are unique, all right? I have a total value of $12,000 in my portfolio right now on the marketplace. I spent $2,500 for that, and it's worth profit of nearly $10,000. A profit of $10,000, as you can see, by buying and selling things based on the market, by using this information. Now, I'm not just using one indicator, but if you start to put all of this together, I'm proof that there's money to be made here. All right? It works. So here's the thing. Right now, we're sitting in this range. We're quite comfortable in this range. You could argue that if the game's broken, the token might go up. Why? Well, because if people can't get into dungeons, they can't farm. If people are losing more than they're spending, like if you spend to go into a dungeon and you get less back as a drop, you're not going to pay to go into a dungeon, meaning less tokens are minted, meaning that when the game breaks, the token price goes up. That's a bit of a weird thing to get your head around. When the game breaks, the token price goes up. On the same time, if they tweak the economy or they do anything like that or people give up, then obviously the token price can go down. And we're going to see some short-term swings. At the moment, it gets to this range. It sits on this level. This was a trend line. It broke through that trend line. It hit this level. It bounced back up. What am I expecting at the moment? Well, in the short term, I'm expecting the token to go up to about 15.5 cents, maybe even 16.5 cents. Or it could come down to 13 cents. It could go either way. It can do anything here. No one knows. But what am I looking for? Well, I'm not looking for it to go up or for it to go down. I'm simply looking for it to break these lines. When it breaks these lines, I pay attention. That's all. So what am I doing at the moment as a result of that? Well, yes, I am taking profits. I am taking out some big time. I am putting some back in. And I am making sure that I prepare myself, not to extract from the economy and to leave, but I fully expect that in the near future, we're going to see some changes in prices. And as a result of that, I want to be ready to accumulate more. WoW is playing a different game because there's opportunity costs. And the opportunity costs are when I take stuff off the game. What does that do as a result of that? When I put stuff on the marketplace, I'm not using it in the game. I could be, and I did this yesterday. I sold a rare hourglass yesterday for like nearly $500. So the opportunity cost that I'm missing, because I could sell a rare Time Warden, for example, or I could sell 4 rare hourglasses right now and cover the cost of that rare Time Warden. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So you've got to understand that when you're looking at the opportunity cost, sometimes it's better to leave the assets in the game and to make the most of it, because this token price, I don't know. Yeah, they're actually selling. 100% they're selling. 100%. Like if you look at my, I'll show you this. Let me just check it first before I bring it onto the screen. Here we go. I'll bring this onto the screen. I don't mind sharing this. There we go. Look, so look, stuff that I purchased. I purchased a Lunar Time Warden. Now this was for a video I was making. I want to let you know I was doing a video, and so I purchased this for the video I was making. I wasn't intending to buy it. It was just to prove a point. But I also sold one as well, and that was for another video I was making. So I sold that on the video this morning, and I bought another one as well. So just bear that in mind. Now, yeah, you can see that I've been purchasing stuff and what I've been paying for it. And you can see that I've been selling stuff as well. Look, so I sold an amplified glass for $437. Now, obviously, there's a rate that they take for that. You know, I sold it for more, and I sold it for like $460 for this one, and then they take a cut. But I'm okay with that. I understand. I don't mind them taking 5% because they can use that to build the game out better. I'm happy for that. But yeah, you do. You need a lot of common hourglasses, and so you have to bear that in mind. Now, when you look at the price in the market, Lunar Time Wardens right now, they're back up to $420. $420 floor right now. What is the opportunity cost? I have right now sitting in my inventory. I know, right? I might actually buy one at $420 for the meme. I have right now sitting in my inventory 1,500. I have 1,500 cracked hourglasses right now sitting in my inventory. So I can't break those down because I don't have enough. I don't have enough Time Wardens. So the challenge I've got is I can break them down slowly, but what happens if the token price goes down as a result of that? Maybe it's better to spend the money to sweep the floor on Time Wardens to break them down so that I can then sell them whilst the token is worth more money. Just an opportunity, right? It's just something to bear in mind. Now, if I show you this quickly, I'll bring this across one sec. Hold on, I'm just going to bring this across. There's just a couple of things that I need to hide on this screen. Not that I don't trust you guys, I just don't trust all of you guys. Look, check this out, ready? So on here, a common, if I was to break down a common, it takes 2 hours, all right? I get 12 big time for it. Bearing in mind, the cost that it costs to break it down is 19 cents. That means I'm making $1.62 profit on breaking down a common right now. I make $1.62 profit breaking down a common hourglass. I make, on average, $2 on an uncommon. I get mostly commons. I get a lot of epics and rares, but it balances out at $2. So working on $2, if I've got 20 Time Wardens and it takes 2 hours, that means my profit per hour at the moment is $20 per hour. $20 per hour. Cost of the Time Warden at the moment is $400. All right, that's an $8,000 investment. It's going to take me 386 hours to break even. 16 days to break even. If I was to sweep the floor of Time Wardens at $400, I will break even in 16 days as long as the token doesn't drop. Do you see now why people are buying? Like, you might not understand why people are buying up these Time Wardens, but do you understand now? If you've got a lot of space, and I'm going to tell you a secret. Shh, come here. I'm going to tell you a secret. Don't tell. Let me see. Is anyone still watching? Hopefully no one's watching. It's just me and you. Hopefully no one's watching anymore. Let me just check. Yeah, there's a couple of people left. This is great. Most people have left. This is great. Shh. I'm going to tell you a secret. There are big guilds that have thousands of spaces and they're not using them. And they can't even rent them out right now because the rental market's flooded. You could reach out right now to big guilds and say, hey, do me a package. Give me 50 spaces. I will go out and buy X amount of Time Wardens to break. Now you need, on average, you need 10 Time Wardens to break down 100 spaces. Okay, every 48 hours, 10 Time Wardens breaks down on average 100 spaces. So otherwise you end up with a bottleneck or an hourglass neck, whatever. So find somebody that has a lot of spaces. There are guilds out there, and do a 50-50 split with them. I will give you 50% of the profits we make. I will get the Time Wardens, and I will do that so that we can do this. Now, there's a risk. There's a risk involved. But what I'm saying is I want you to think about the potential out there that is above and beyond just what you see at face value. There are opportunities to do things like this. There are. I do not own all of these spaces. Are not mine. I don't own all of them. All right. I own a lot of spaces, but I do not own all of these. I do not own all 350 of these spaces. I did that. I have a partner that I'm working with, and we have a 50-50 split over my spaces and their spaces, and my utilities and their utilities. So I want you to bear that in mind. Like, if you build up good relationships, and I'm not saying going and spamming people. If you go and spam guilds, they're not going to listen to you. There has to be trust. I built these relationships up over years to be at a point where I can do these deals now. This doesn't happen instantly. You're not just going to go and reach out to someone and go, hey, and it's going to work. These things take time. But if you're willing to put in the effort now, and you're willing to be genuine in doing that, then it can reward you later. And I think that's one of the things I think is important for you to learn. So, yeah, renting out. Now here's the other thing as well. If everyone starts doing this, guess what's going to happen? They're going to stop it. They're going to go, do you know what? We can't allow people to do that. That wasn't a game mechanic we intended. Okay, the hourglasses were designed to protect or to say thank you to space holders. Now it's being abused as an extraction mechanic. All of a sudden, guess what? We're going to turn it off. And I can fully see them stopping cracked hourglasses altogether. So you just have to bear in mind that, like, I'm not sitting here extracting everything out of the game. I put at least minimum 80% back into the game. I'm spending somewhere in the region of like $2,000 a day on I'm not anymore because they tweaked it, but I was spending $2,000 a day on premium crystals. So I was reinvesting into premium crystals. I was also buying up the floors on the marketplaces. So yes, I'm accumulating assets, but I'm putting it back. I'm not taking it out and cashing it out and I'm buying, a new shipping star Atlas. When did I rent? I didn't rent all 350 spaces. I rented some of them, but I did it a while back. I don't actually know. When did I set this up? Probably 2 weeks ago. Pretty much at the start. I think it might have been like a couple of days after the start of it all. Put it this way, I was making $1,000 a day profit when I was doing this at the start, and I was breaking these down. I was breaking these down. I was just sitting in my one little common, and I was just dismantle. And I spent all day just dismantling them. And yeah, but I reinvested everything. I didn't take anything out. Like I said, I think about 20%. I probably de-risked like 20% of what I made, and the rest of it went back in, either on time crystals or on buying other assets. And yeah. Oh, and a few giveaways that we did as well. We did a few giveaways. Now, I've actually collected all of my time crystals at the moment. I do have more that are going to be available later on today. So I am going to have to do my run the gauntlet later on today. But I think for now, it's... yeah, there's nothing in here right now. I had to rebuild everything and do it all. And I've by the way, I've still got loads of utilities that I have taken off and not using. As you can see, there's only 6 common on here at the moment. I've been selling at $400 Time Wardens. I'm expecting there to be a pullback. I am expecting it. I might be wrong. I might get caught with my pants down and I might end up with no Time Wardens and I might have to suck it up and buy high. Oh, hold on. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Whoever just listed that. Oof, oof, oof. Do you know what? I was that close. I was that close. I saw it. I saw it. I just clicked buy. If my 2FA was enabled, I would have had that. Yes, someone just bought a Lunar Time Warden for $320. Someone just bought a Lunar Time Warden for $320. Or someone just delisted it very quickly. I had it on my other screen. I saw it at 320. I was like, I tried to grab it, but my 2FA popped up and then it went. So, yeah. I have that marketplace open. I do. I keep my eye on it. Takes like 5 hours to go on all my space. It takes me 20 minutes to run to the end of my space at the moment. You can't use discount codes on sales. Only on rental. Played a lot on Silver Pass right now, learning all the dungeon running mechanics. I'm loving the dungeons. I'm gutted I can't. I really wish I could run a dungeon with you right now. I really do. Unfortunately, I can't run dungeons right now. The game doesn't allow me to do that right now. And it's okay. I have to live in my metaverse. I can't. The game runs really well here. If I go out, I'll show you. I'll just show you. I'll show you what happens. I'll show you what happens. Yes, new cutoff for postcards is the 20th of November. And so I think in the short term, we're going to see a squeeze. I think we're going to see Lunar Time Wardens go up. I reckon we could see 450 on the Lunar Time Wardens. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I can see it. I mean, we're already back up to 420. We're already back up to 420. In fact, one of mine just sold. I just got the email. There we go. Nice. So, by the way, love these messages. Love these messages, by the way, if you haven't had them yet. Congratulations, your item is sold. Gives me Axie vibes back in the day. Alright, so we're going to run around with our invisible stick naked, because apparently that's what we like to do here. Oh, look, there's a... Oh, no, that's... I'm not going to go in there. This, by the way, the Thunder Cube. I just... I love the whole concept of the Thunder Cube. But if you go in there, this is where you'll get your... the Thunder Cube is where you'll get your Battlemancer. Or your Tech Blade. So, yeah. If you have too many in your collection, I've confirmed with Pangboy because he couldn't run dungeons for a week. Yeah. I also found that from Botlight as well, he's also having the same problems. There's a few of us that are struggling with the same issues. The team are more than aware. It's frustrating, yes, but I'm not going to sit here and flame the team. They're doing the best they can, and I'm willing to give them the space they need, and I trust them. It's just one of those things. Yes, I can't grind a leaderboard. Yes, I'm missing out. Right now I should be on the top page of the leaderboard right now. Absolutely I should. And the reason I'm not is because I can't play. I can't grind. I've not been able to play for a week. And so there's a lot of stuff I can't do. I'm not going to sit here and cry about that. It is what it is. I'm not even worried about the leaderboard. Like I don't care really about the leaderboard because I can generate more income through solid, sustainable game loops than I can through an airdrop. Like, I'm not bothered about the airdrop, right? It's a one-time thing. Let's try and see if I can find, like, a dungeon. I just want to try and find, like... I want to show you, just through, like, a basic dungeon, what happens. I mean, not necessarily. It could be... I don't know. Here's the way I see the leaderboard. This is how I see it. The leaderboard, I believe, is pay to win. I think the leaderboard is. I think the more money you spend, the higher you will be. I think that the leaderboard favours people the more time crystals they spend. Or marketplace fees. So if you are doing something that costs a lot of time crystals, I think you're going to go up higher on the leaderboard. That's my belief. So I think there's a couple of mistakes they made. I don't think they should have allowed referral bonuses to affect the leaderboard at all. I don't think that was a good idea, given how they gated referral bonuses to some people. I don't think that was a good idea. And also, I think that at the moment, there needs to be better stability on the servers for the leaderboard to be fair. That being said, I'm totally open to it from a marketing perspective, and even if I don't get that top spot or I don't get on the front page, I'm not gonna stress over it. It is what it is. I know that leaderboards are competitive, and I know that the people who are fighting leaderboards take them very personally, and I'm not taking that away from people. It's a very competitive leaderboard. But I'm not willing to bet that the amount of money invested in that leaderboard is going to justify the result. I don't know. Now, here's the irony here. Here's the irony. Sod's Law. I'm sitting here telling you how bad these dungeons are, and I can actually play the game. I have not been able to do this in a week. So the fact that I'm actually in right now, and it looks like I've actually got my gear. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, so it's not loaded my gear. So what this normally means, like no pocket watches, nothing showing up. So what this normally means is if I go into collection, yep, everything here looks like it's busted. If I click on this, now what you're going to see, I mean, it looked like it was running great. This is, spoke too soon. Hold on. So what you'll normally see here is if I scroll to the bottom of this, this is normally where it struggles, where this is loading. I don't think it's my space. I think it's this, because normally you see these like, yeah, look, see they're rendering. Look, see how they're rendering in? Like this one's blue. Look, see? This is the problem. It's cracked hourglasses. Look, it's nothing else is loading right now. All of this, everything else is not loading because it's loading these cracked hourglasses. Now there's a cutoff point of around 1,000 cracked hourglasses, and anything over that, it's just causing problem. This is like a refractoring issue. When you add new, now every time, let's say I collect a mod crystal, a mod chip, sorry. Let's say I'm in a dungeon and I collect a mod chip. It doesn't just add a mod chip to my inventory. It itemizes every single item in my inventory to add that mod chip. So every time I click something, it does this every single time. So this isn't just a once it loads, I just wait, let it load. Every time I click something, it reloads everything. And so now I've pressed escape. There we go. I can't move. There we go. Now you're seeing. Oh. Now you're seeing. This will crash in a minute. This will kick me. It will get to a point where it says, do you know what? I'm okay with this. I mean, obviously I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay understanding that the devs are working on this and that they'll fix it. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to the bomb. I can't even move. I've got no input right now. So this is what it's like for me. Now, for a moment, I thought it was okay. For a moment, I was like, do you know what? I'm on stream. Sod's Law. They fixed it. Yeah, NFO guides. A lot of people that have said that. They'll fix it. I'm not worried in the slightest. At the moment, I can sit in my metaverse and I can play the markets. And I know it's frustrating, but it is still early access. When you log into the game, you click that disclaimer, shit will break. It's okay. It's allowed me to spend more time looking at the spreadsheets. It's allowed me to spend more time on other things. I've even touched some grass recently. You know, I've realised I've got a partner I haven't seen in like a month because I've been so engrossed in this. So I said hello to her. We live together and I forgot. There's so many other things that you can be doing instead of flaming the team. The team know. Trust me, the team don't want this problem. They want to fix it. If it was a case of just throwing more money at the servers, they would throw as much money as it took at the servers. This is not a money fixes it problem. They need to rewrite the code base, they need to refactor things, they need to take their time, and they need to do this properly so it's done like you don't just wing it and hack it and oh, I'm just going to fix this problem because you create 10 more. They need to take their time, identify the problems, fix the problems, rewrite the code base, do it to a point where this is stable. That's what's taking the time. That's the only reason it's taking time. It's not a server issue. It's not a performance or a hardware issue. This is the way that the data is processed. And so, yeah. Now, NFO guides. Really good question. I wonder if your inventory issues is what's breaking servers with lag when we're in towns. If a lot of people have this. When I'm in a party and I lag, the entire party lags. I know because all of the people in my party have struggled to get into dungeons recently. As soon as they kick me from the party, they're fine. So absolutely, it has an impact. Now, I might crash this server now, and as a result, everyone on this server might get kicked. And it doesn't just affect this server, it leeches resources off other servers, which again is another problem. These are not siloed instances, they're connected. There's a lot of things that the team are fixing it. And the reason the team are quiet right now and not communicating is because they've got their heads down, they're fixing these problems. I'm toxic for the game. Yeah. I mean, yeah, look. Absolutely. It's bad coding. 100%. But you don't just launch perfect code on the... Anyone that writes code, anyone that is a developer will tell you, you don't get it right first time. It's about iterations. It's about taking something, fixing it, improving on it, iterating it. No, not ban Undisputed Noobs. Look, I will quit out. Like, interesting though, if you're in Frankfurt Prime, or wherever you are you lagging? Are you lagging in your game now because of me? Because that would be quite funny. Just need to give them time, guys. I can't do anything, by the way. It's unresponsive now. I'll get kicked in a sec. It'll kick me out. But now do you understand why I've not been playing for the last 3 or 4 days? You actually can't get in at the moment. Guilty. I'm sorry. Do you remember that episode of The Social Media? Have you seen The Social Network? Have you seen that part of The Social Network? Let me see if I can find it. This is me right now.
Are you all right? I need you. I'm here for you.
Hold on.
No, I need the algorithm used to rank chess players.
Wait.
The question is...
Wait. Where is it? Wait.
Usual for 4 in the morning?
No, there's a very unusual amount of traffic to the switch at Kirkland.
There's a very unusual amount of traffic on Big Time.
No, this would be unusual for halftime at the Super Bowl.
All right. I do.
I'm not going to play it because I'll get DSCMA'd, but yeah, that's how I feel right now. No, I do not look like Mark Zuckerberg. No, I do not. Stop it. I'm sorry if I've broken the server. It's, look, they'll fix it. Just got to give them some time, right? Do I like Elon Musk? Yeah, I think he's incredible what he's doing. I do. There's going to be a new ambassador program that's going to come out soon. That's going to be exciting. There's a lot of really cool things that they're working on, which is exciting. The floor for the Time Wardens right now. Look, 420. I'm so tempted. For the memes, I'm so tempted. And these as well at level 5, level 4, level 5. A lot of them are level 5. So these are people that have been using these. Opportunity cost now by having these on the marketplace. But I get it. And I'm actually gonna exit the game now because, and it's not a resource issue. It's definitely not a resource issue. If you look at my machine, I mean, my machine it's running 64 gig of RAM. I've got I normally run this overclocked to 5 gigahertz. I've turned it down, so I've got I've got an i9 990, 64 gig of RAM. I'm running 2 M.2 drives. All right, so I'm running NVMe drives. I've got a decent Ethernet. It's like 500 gig, and I'm running a 2080 Ti. So, I mean, I've got no issues on my machine. So this is not like a performance issue on my machine. My machine's okay. This is just an issue with the game. So let me go ahead and I'm going to fix this by jumping out of the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna solve that problem. Now, it'll be so interesting if you're playing the game if it suddenly fixes itself. It'll be really interesting. Yeah, they just need to optimize better. That's all. They just need to optimize better. Thanks. I can show you my PC if you're interested. I'll show you my PC before we log off, just so you can see it if you haven't seen it yet. If you've never seen it before, I'll give you a quick look. Now, it is going to require me moving the camera, so just bear with me a second while I do this. Let me see. All right. For me to do this, though, hold on. We're going to have to work together to make this happen. All right, let me turn my camera around. There we go. So there's the case. It's an Obsidian 500D. Inside here, we've got 2 water loops running. Hold on a minute. I'll just try and make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So basically I'm running, as you can see, I've got the vertically mounted 2080 Ti, which has got a water loop running to the reservoir. This is all running on Hydro X. There's a 64 gig of RAM sitting in there. There's the i9 990K processor, which is running on an AIO water loop under there, with the 2 fans and the radiator there, 3 on the front. Running on, I think it's a 1200 PSU gold tier power supply unit, running on a, I think it's an E90, an ASOS ROG E90, 390E, I think it is, motherboard. It's a bit old now. The machine's definitely done me well, but yeah, I've got to the point where I should update it. I need to upgrade it. It's just, yeah, one of those things that I could definitely update it. It's just, I haven't. It's running fine. There's no need to right now. I don't need to just go and buy the latest stuff. I'm quite happy with it. It works for me. I'm really interested when I look at the marketplace to keep an eye on the higher tiers. I think when I look at the exalted Time Wardens at the moment, there's only 5 on the market. There's only 5. I mean, I can see these. I can see these pumping up to like $4,000. I really can. I'm even eyeing up. I am eyeing up buying another one. It's possible. I might. If I look at the exotics at the moment, there's just nothing on the market. There's none. It's like you're paying $8,000 or nothing. It's as simple as that. There's no. There are no Transcendents. Wildy Shark bought all the Transcendents. The last Transcendent Time Warden sold for $25,000. Wildy Shark has been buying them all day. All day he's been buying them at $20,000. Why does my shirt look like an AOL logo? It's my Undisputed Noobs. I should still be in MySpace, right? I love MySpace. Hey, don't knock it. Just because you like Spotify and I like Winamp, don't judge me because I can change the skins on my app. Yeah, so what? I get my music from LimeWire. I'm old school. I used to play my computer games on a Spectrum. All good, ladies and gentlemen, all good. All right, so yeah, I mean, but then look at the price here. See, this is what fascinates me. I think the upper tier at the moment, I think the upper tier at the moment is definitely, and for some reason my daughter left these in my room. I have no idea what they're doing on my desk. I definitely don't think I should be wearing them, but hey ho. So when I look at the marketplace at the moment, Lunar Time Wardens are starting to push up, right? We're seeing a squeeze at the bottom end of the floor. Top end of the floor is nothing available, right? You're gonna pay more than what other people have been paying for the exotics. There are no Transcendents, which means now the top end at the moment is Exalteds. There's such a massive price gap at the moment. These Exalteds, these 3,000 Exalteds, I think someone like Wildy Shark is going to wake up in the morning and go, do you know what? Sweep, 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 sweep. And he's gonna grab all 4 of those. And then that's it. It's done. There aren't any anymore. And so, I mean, when you look at the middle tier here, mythics and legendaries, okay? Because I think at the moment it's really, really good. If you are in a position to have rares are really good. But then look at the price of epics, right? Are you going to pay $1,200 for an epic? Or are you going to grab a legendary for $1,400? For the extra $200, you can go up an entire tier class, right? So at the moment, legendary, when you consider, if you're looking at the price of these, and in fact, I should probably look at just workshops on their own. Hey, Vortex, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Steve, what do you think about the price of exalted armories and forges? I think Big Time is going to insist owning them at some point. I think crafting is going to come into... I think they're going to redefine crafting, and I think that those items, specifically, let's just, good question, great question. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. I think that when we look at the crafting, and this hasn't happened yet, when this comes in, it's going to, I'll take those off now. Otherwise, I know what'll happen. I'll end up going down a shop, I'll forget I'm wearing them, and people will start looking at me. want to look at crafting. Where am I looking? Maybe someone can guide me because I don't know. It might be here. Yes, there it is. All right, let's look at this. So for those of you that don't know, and aren't aware, there is going to be some types which are going to be added. In fact, let's just talk about this. This is going to be types, right? So ignoring max issuance, ignoring rarity, let's look at types. There are 10 types of armories. Each has a special bonus and color. All right. The light hammer, which is red. There are 3 types of them, type A, type B, and type C. One of them is going to be around quickness. One of them is rapidness and one of them swiftness. Now, this one is going to specialize in gloves. This one, helmets. This one, legs and shields. All right. This one is the steady anvil, which is going to focus on shoulders, chest, gloves, and helmet. And then the 4-leaf clover, legs, shields, shoulders, and chest. Okay. Now there's the Armory of Triumph, which is going to focus on all of the above. Okay. This means that each specialization increases the crafting speed of a particular armor piece. The specialization, each speed depends on the rarity, and generally the single specializations would have faster compared to multiple specializations, with the exception of the rainbow colors. Each collective will have a specific group bonus, plus it would be used to unlock the workshop collective set bonus. All right, the workshop collective set bonus, which looks into the workshops that are set up within one space. So when you have big spaces with multiple workshops attached to it, you're going to get set bonuses. Also, when we look at this and we look at the rainbow only applies to exotic and transcendent. Only applies to exotic and transcendent. Therefore, yes, I've been buying up the exotics. Yes. Why? Because I can't afford the transcendence. Let's just be real. I don't have that sort of capital spare. And also, I've hit my risk tolerance level. So even if I did want to liquidate something to move it across to here, I have rules. I have rules of how much I am willing to invest, and I have to be respectful of those rules. And so for me, it's important, it all goes back to bankroll management, of not being overexposed into any one area. So I'm not going to go and buy these transcendents at the moment, but yes, I am buying exotics. And I've also got exalted. So I am sitting around the legendary to exotic. This is my space. Wildy is sitting around the transcendent to legendary to transcendent. I am sitting around the legendary to exotic. And there's a few other people that are doing similar things. Now, the idea here is I want to have a decent supply of greens, blues, and reds, as well as some rainbows. So I've got the ability to do that. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if I attach all of these to the same space, then that's going to allow me to get those boosts, which is going to allow me to craft better. I think crafting's broken right now. I think crafting's absolutely broken right now. But I think crafting is going to be very valuable later. But in terms of Time Wardens, yeah, looking at the price of these, I'm not going to sit and buy an epic Time Warden when I can buy a legendary one. What do I think about big time token and market after the leaderboards? I think we can see a dip, possibly. I do believe we might see a dip down to about 10 cents. I think the team are already planning on what they're going to do with that. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what people see. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. It's hard to say right now. But I think that as much as some people are going to exit, other people are going to accumulate. And so we might end up seeing we'll definitely see some turbulence. We'll definitely see some turbulence. Hope this will stay up. I'd love to rewatch the whole thing. You absolutely can. On Twitch, I know that there's a limit, but on YouTube, I'm not taking it down. So you just watch it on YouTube. In fact, I would recommend, and actually not recommend, but I would appreciate if you're going to watch any of my content, please watch it on YouTube. The reason being is the more people that watch it on YouTube, the more the algorithm kicks in. You don't even have to support me. I just get ad revenue. That ad revenue's nice. I make like about between £500 and £1,000 a month on ad revenue on YouTube. it's appreciated. And it just goes back into the game. So if you're going to watch any of my content, if you do think my content's valuable, if you want to support me, just watch on YouTube. And anytime an ad pops up, rather than being frustrated, think, hey, at least Steve's getting paid for this ad. That's what I would ask, if anything. But at the end of the day, I don't appreciate. I don't expect anything. I appreciate it, but I don't expect. And on YouTube, it is very simple. All you need to do is go to YouTube Undisputed Noobs. That's what it is. I will find a link for you right now. I will post it. I should have it all set up on Twitch. I'm terrible. There we go. So this is my channel. Post it in there for you. I do have a playlist. That playlist talks about everything here, so you can see this. Look. So there we go. I've got a playlist. If you look at the Big Time playlist, so go to my playlists. On here, type it. Look at Big Time. I cover a lot of different games. Farming Simulator, by the way, love that game. Forever Skies, great game. Green Hell, enjoyed that. Escape from Tarkov, I love that. Starfield, I did a few things on Starfield. Dota 2, I've got 10,000 hours in Dota 2. I'm an absolute degen. Star Atlas, love that game. Icarus has been fun. I've enjoyed playing that. Star Citizen, love Star Citizen. Do a lot more on that in the near future. But for now, click on Big Time. On Big Time, you'll be able to go through and see everything I've talked about. All of these videos, I always put them in here. So you'll be able to see these. Look, here we go. Look, I'm talking about getting started as a free-to-play player. That's what you need to do. Looking at the economy, what you need to do. Everything. Anything you need to know about Big Time is going to be in this playlist. So, yeah, just check that out. That's what I recommend for you. And, yeah, that's kind of my focus is on YouTube at the moment. So, yeah, I'm very grateful if you can support me there. That being said, there's not really much else I can do at the moment. I've definitely shut the game down now. Hopefully your servers are okay. Vortex, you're saying, if I'm investing 1K, what would you buy in terms of Time Wardens and space? Vortex, that is a really, really good question. It depends. The first thing I would come back to you at and say is, what is your play style? Are you somebody that will run dungeons? Are you somebody that is going to play casually? Or are you going to grind hard? So are you sweaty or are you casual? Are you going to grind dungeons or are you more interested in supply and the economics in the supply chains? Or are you more interested in just trading and flipping the marketplace? See, that's the first thing I would need to know. So are you going to play the game? Are you going to play the economy? Or are you going to play the market? And when I say the economy, I mean building a supply chain. Because there's trading the market, there's building a supply chain, and there's grinding dungeons. They're the three type of play styles right now. Which of those are you going to focus on? And if you're going to play, are you going to play casually or are you going to play sweaty? I'm more going to run merchant. Okay, perfect. So merchant gameplay, absolutely. I think at the moment, it's a difficult time to get in right now. I'm not saying it's the bad time, but it possibly could be a Pico top. We could see with additional supply, the market correct itself. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but also you have to understand that you could end up paying 30 to 40% more right now if you were to jump in. But opportunity cost, if you could make it back, I would say right now, you would definitely need a Time Warden. You would need a space, at the minimum a rare small space, but if you can, let's have a look. Because if you're not going to play the game, there's some things you don't need to do. You don't need to unlock your hourglasses. You don't need to worry about hourglasses from a playing perspective. You don't need to worry about running dungeons. You just need to know about what you're going to build up. So what I would say initially is if you're going to put in $1,000, the first thing you need to do mentally is accept that 1,000 is lost. Just accept it as lost. You're spending it. You're buying something you're never going to see again. It's like going out and spending money. Let's say you go to a festival, right? Let's say you go to Burning Man or you go to Glastonbury or whatever, and you spend $1,000 on a VIP ticket, right? Or whatever. You have a great weekend. You have some amazing memories. You spend some time, but at the end of it, it's done. You need to treat that $1,000 right now like that. And if you're willing and okay to do that, fine. Wildy Shark has an incredible series. You can watch him. He's doing it with $5,000. Yeah, just do a fifth of what he's doing. But what I would do if I was you personally right now, and if I had $1,000 and I was getting started right now, Honestly, I would wait until the 10th. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be a good decision. I'm not saying that's a good decision. But I would right now be waiting until the 10th to see what happens with the leaderboard. There's going to be a lot of volatility. I don't know what's going to happen. The prices might go up. They might go down. I just couldn't tell you. But I think it's possible we see a correction. And if we do see a correction, then it's going to be a better entry for you. You may miss it altogether. Who knows? After that, if you do miss it, then I would consider waiting for the postcard drop. You should be able to pick up some cheaper Time Wardens after the postcard drop. But that's just been delayed until the 20th. So the postcard drop has now been changed to the 20th. Hey, Wildy, you're back. I hope you had good food, my friend. I hope you had good food indeed. Wildy Shark is an incredible guy. And here's the thing, right? There's a lot of, and I'll say this openly, there's a lot of people who will look at somebody who is wealthy or who is financially well, and they'll be like, they're so good. They're such a nice person. Oh, I love them. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, they're such a nice person. Hey, you couldn't give me a Time Warden, could you? Like, there's people that do that. I'm not saying that anyone here does that. I'm just saying there's people that do that. And so my respect for Wildy Shark has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of money they have or that they invest in this game. My respect for Wildy Shark comes from the fact that even though they have money, they're still a nice person. And I think that speaks volumes, because I'm a very good judge of character, and I know enough twats. I know enough people that have got money but they're arseholes. I know enough people who are skint and would still give everything. All right? For me, money doesn't determine how I treat someone. I will treat homeless people, sometimes I will treat homeless people better than people with money, because I respect them more, even though they're in a bad situation. And so I absolutely think that there are people who will gravitate towards Wildy Shark simply because he's financially wealthy. And as somebody who is in a situation where I've experienced both. Now, I'm not going to bore you with my life story, but just to know that when I left the army, I was homeless. I lived in a car for 6 months. I've been to the bottom of the barrel. Like, I know what it's like. Like, everything I have in my life, I had to build for myself. I didn't get any handouts. Nothing was given to me. I had a fresh slate, and I had to grind like a bitch from nothing to get to where I am today. So I've worked incredibly hard. And the only reason that I have ever experienced success in my life is not because I'm smart. It's not because I'm clever. It's because I am a donkey. I am a stubborn mule. I refuse to give up. And often you will find that tenacity and the willingness to just continually push forward, you will find success simply through the grind, as long as you're willing to grow. As long as you are willing to grow. You cannot do the same thing, like, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's not about working hard. It is not. You have to work hard, right? That is part of it. But it is not like, if you work hard, you are not guaranteed success. I know enough people that work like dogs and they have nothing. I have 4 jobs right now, like Toxic, exactly what you're saying, right? And they could be good jobs, and that's fine. But you have to work hard and smart. You have to be learning. You have to be growing. You have to do both. It's very, very much about working hard. And if you're smart, you know that because you're smart, right? There's an incredible. I've got to play this. I hope that this video doesn't get taken down as a result of this. I've got to play this. Because this is just so true. It's so real. Right, John Cleese. If any of you know John Cleese,
I think the problem with people like this is...
Wait. I've got to bring this back. Hold on. I'm going to just play this because this is perfect. This sums things up perfectly.
I think the problem with people like this is that they are so stupid that they have no idea how stupid they are. You see, if you're very, very stupid, how can you possibly realize that you're very, very stupid. You'd have to be relatively intelligent to realize how stupid you are. There's a wonderful bit of research by a guy called David Dunning at
It's so
Cornell,
true.
who's a friend of mine, I'm proud to say, who's pointed out that in order to know how good you are at something requires exactly the same skills as it does to be good at that thing in the first place, which means, and this is terribly funny, that if you're absolutely no good at something at all, then you lack exactly the skills that you need to know that you're absolutely no good at it. And this explains not just Hollywood, but almost the entirety of Fox News.
Now, it's obviously John Cleese, Monty Python. If you don't know that, absolutely amazing. But the basics of this is that you need to have a level of intelligence, right? You have to. You can't just work hard. You have to work smart. And so smart people know they have to work hard. All right, so you have to be aware of that. The fact that you're willing to learn, you're here, you're learning, you're listening to people like Wildy Shark, like myself, like the other incredible people in this game. There's incredible content creators out there that will play this game that you can watch that are very satisfying. And like Custom's another one. Custom plays gameplay. I know Domfather does play gameplay. I know there's a lot of people on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch that play these games that you can watch. But there's not that many people, one, that are talking about the economy, and two, who also can talk about the economy. When I used to play poker, and again, I used to play poker professionally. I was sponsored. I used to play. I'm quite good when I play poker. I'm a great poker player. I'm a terrible gambler. So just need, exactly right. You need to learn when to fold your hand. Now, when I used to play poker, the amount of people that would be on the rails, i.e. not involved, but would have an opinion, is incredible. The amount of people that would tell you what to do with your hand. Hey, you should bet that. You should fold that. You should do this. You should do that. Social media is full of noise on people telling you what you should do, yet have never been in that position themselves, which is why you should always listen to people, but you should be very selective with who you listen to. Very selective with who you listen to. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is give unbiased opinions. I'm not sitting here telling you what I think you want to hear. I'm not going to say, hey, go and buy this because I think, like, right, I could say right now, let me just, I'll give you an example. So one of these Time Wardens, I actually don't know which one it is. One of these Time Wardens for sale right now, one of them's mine. Now, I could sit there and go, Time Wardens, oh my God, I can't believe it. If you don't go and buy these Time Wardens right now, these are so scarce, you have to go and buy these Time Wardens. Look at them. Like, I could sit there and do that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me whether this sells or not. I'm not going to create content around this just because I want to sell this Time Warden. I don't actually care if this sells or not. It doesn't bother me. If it sells, great. If it doesn't, great. I can take it off. I can use it, whatever. My point is there are people out there who will give you information because it benefits them. And there are other people that will give you information because it benefits you. And the people who are more likely to give you information that benefits you are the ones that have nothing to gain from it. And the only person I know in this space right now, and I'm not saying it is the only person, but the only one I know right now who will give you information and is not looking for anything in return is Wildy Shark. He's the only other person. And so I'm just using that as an example, right? Now, obviously, if you want to go and buy an Exalted Time Warden, you can go and do it before Wildy Shark goes and cleans the floor. I do genuinely believe that these will sell. I had one for sale at $4,000. Now, I took it off because I'm using it. And I am very, very tempted right now, very tempted to be able to in fact, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it right now on stream. I think that the Exalteds right now are underpriced. And so I'm going to take mine off and I'm going to see if the floor gets swept, but I'm going to list mine at 4,000. I did this before. I will, and I did a video on market manipulation on YouTube. You can watch it. I drove the price of, I'm not going to do it again because I did it on a video earlier. In fact, let me just take that off. If I go to the Lunar, hold on. We need to talk about this as well before we wrap up. If we look at the Lunar Time Wardens, earlier on in a video, and you can see it on my YouTube, I drove the price of the Lunar Time Warden from $470 down to $390, and I showed you how to do it. And it's all because of this. Look, 450, 449, 445, 438. What this tells me right now, if I look at this right now and I see these, what are called incremental steps. If I see these incremental steps, that tells me there are more sellers than buyers. This has no volume. The reason I know there's no volume here at the moment is because people are climbing over themselves to sell it cheaper. And if there was sell pressure here, then the floor would be swept. So the fact right now is nobody's buying these, and so you don't have to sell this. I could come in right now, and I could list. In fact, I don't even know if I've got one to list. I'm quite tempted to do it just to prove to you, but go and watch my video. You'll see, because I did it. I found out that I listed one. I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I can manipulate this market. I could push this down to 390. Guess what's going to happen then? I take mine off. Someone lists at 390. I buy it. They've only removed the transaction history temporarily to deal with the bots that were abusing the API. It will come back. But right now, I'm just saying that there is a way that you can abuse the marketplace. I can, and there's some of this is probably bots as well. I wouldn't be surprised. So the idea here is that you can definitely arbitrage. Like, look at it right now, 420 for this, right? So what could you do as a result? Go to the marketplace right now, go to mystery boxes, and rather than buying those at 420, go to the mystery boxes and have a look at how much the Time Warden mystery boxes are selling for. Right, they've gone up. Remember these were 380 earlier? Now they're 405. See? Everything's connected, but there's a delay, there's a lag. And often when a whale comes in and sweeps up, this doesn't update in real time. So what can you do as a result of that? You could arbitrage. So if you're sitting there and saying, I've got $1,000, what should I do right now? Part of me would say to you, it's worth spending some time researching the marketplace and possibly arbitraging the market to turn that $1,000 into $1,500. It can obviously go the other way. But even if you end up buying an asset and it doesn't sell, you've got the asset. So as long as you're not buying things that don't hold value, like buying decorations in the game, I don't recommend that. Not right now. Not unless you just want a dinosaur to look at in your mansion. But if you were to buy Time Wardens have utility. Forges and armories have utility. And even if you get caught with your pants down and you buy the top, at least you've still got the asset. At least you can still generate income over time and eventually make it back. Common hourglasses at 1380. Wildy Shark, man, thank you so much for being here. I genuinely do appreciate you. You're an incredible guy, and thank you so much for everything you do. I'm really looking forward to connecting more. I'm not going to spoil the conversation. If you see what was said in Discord, and hopefully we'll have a chat about that later. In fact, I can see you have. Mate, no worries. Take some rest. You definitely deserve it, my friend. I think that there is an opportunity. I've added you to a conversation. Yes, I can see that. Yeah, let's do that. Wow, I see that. Do you want to share that, Wildy Shark? Look, you don't have to. If you want to share it now, you can. But if not, I'm going to leave you to share it on your next. In fact, if you want to know what I know, then you need to tune in to Wildy Shark's next stream, and then he can drop it for you. I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to watch his next stream, and then he can drop what's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you, but let's just say I recommend you should be there. I'm not interested in streaming as much. I would much rather put out informative YouTube videos now and again, and I would rather champion Whale for his Twitch channel. That would be more enjoyable for me. I'm crazy busy at the moment with IRL. I've got 2 companies that I'm running and that I'm supporting, as long as, well, with charities as well that I'm involved in. I do spend a lot of time here, but I don't have the ability to commit to a consistent schedule. And so consistency is key. Wildy Shark has already said that he will consistently be streaming. So I would recommend, if you're going to follow anyone, follow Wildy Shark. And I will do what I can to consistently bring attention to him and his channel because I think it's such valuable information. But that being said, we're just going to wrap up here now. So we were talking about these. Now, this is something at the moment that I think people are sleeping on. When you go and you look at the price right now, hey, Big Yield's here as well. Oh my God, all the incredible people are here. Hey, Big Yield, love you, man. Big Yield, Wildy Shark, you two need to connect as well. We need to have a little conversation going on here. There's a whole lot of stuff we need to do. Like there's so much knowledge and value that could be extracted by so many incredible people here. You guys are phenomenal. I love you all. And just being part of this peer group. I've probably learned more from talking with you guys than I have dealing with multi-million-pound business owners and companies and corporations and clients. I've had more fun, more enjoyment, and I've learned more from these conversations than from other things. I think it's Big Yield, an incredible guy to know. If you don't know VIG, absolutely go and check out the VIG Guild. VIG, which is Vast Impact Gaming. Go and check them out. Vast Impact Gaming, VIG Guild. I'm going to try and drop the link. Also, by the way, and I'm going to share this now. Let's do a little plug. Right, I hope this works. That's their Discord. Go and check them out. One of the things that's really cool, I've been using this actually. Here we go. They're actually the ones that are responsible for Dash Loot. But this as well, this is vastimpactgaming.com/map. If you wanted to have a look at a map and see where all of the locations are, you can see what the gates are in certain locations, which is really helpful. But also you can use this, which allows you to turn on and turn off. Let's say you want to find out, oh, I need this skill. I need like a level 3 Path of the Shadow Blade. Like you can see where these are. Path of the Shadow Blade. 1. Now they don't have levels on them right now, but hopefully in the future they will. But this is a really, really cool thing where you can, I use this. Oh, here's where the waypoints are. Now, I actually used this map when I started to be able to run through here and to collect all of the waypoints. It's a really, really good map. So yeah, highly recommend. And they've spent a lot of time building this and doing this out. So definitely worth checking out. Not only this, but also, yeah, tied to a guild, absolutely. Dash Loot is the other one as well, which is part of theirs. It's being updated, so ignore the homepage. I know it could use a bit of love, but at the moment the API issues are holding them back. But that being said, absolutely use this. You can see here what I tend to do. The way that I tend to do this is come on to dashloot.com/market and check the date. And if this isn't updated, then you know that it's not right. So this is not the most accurate information. It hasn't been updated since the 31st. So don't take this as factual right now. And that's because they shut the API down. Once the API kicks back in, I'm sure they'll fix it. I know Big Yield very much on top of things. So yeah, definitely check them out. Amazing guys. All right, let's just wrap up. Thanks very much, by the way, if you've got to go, guys. I appreciate that. But look, let's talk about this. All right, there's going to be boosts. If you have 2 blue, 10% less big time and crystal cost, right? Reduce the cost of big time and time crystals for crafting. So if you've got a space that has 4 blues attached to it, 20% less big time and crystal costs. Think about this. This is stuff that's not in the game yet. It's coming. The best thing you can do is start planning for this now. Start planning for this now. If you wait until this drops, you're too late. Buying Time Wardens at $400 isn't a smart play. The smart play is buying Time Wardens at $50. But who's going to do that? Well, the people that were aware. So what you need to do is not look at the current meta. You need to look at the future meta. You need to look at what's coming next. What's coming next? We know crafting is going to be a vital part of this game. And we know crafting is broken right now. So they're going to fix it. So the people that are building a business around the current crafting loops are the ones that are making a mistake, because the people who are going to make the best ROI on this game are the ones that are planning ahead. Less duration. Less chips. I don't know what the chips mean. I'm not sure what 3 less chips means. Oh, bonus roll. So, okay, 3 less chips. Now, they're probably going to have to adjust this. These are not final numbers, right? Mod chips, yeah. But I think there's like 15 mod chips. So this will probably be adjusted. But even so, like, what do you think Wildy Shark's going to be doing, right? He's going to be setting up his spaces to have 4 greens attached so that he gets better bonus rolls. And then when he does his bonus rolls, he'll be doing them there. Those workshops that are attached are going to be leveling up quicker to be top levels. So he's going to want to attach, he's going to want in his exalted space, he'll have a room that is specifically used for bonus rolls. And that will be his bonus roll room. Same when you want to do this, right? Less big time and time crystals. So the other thing to consider is 25% more shards and hourglass charges if you've got 1 blue and 2 red. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, it means you need to consider your spaces. You absolutely need to start looking at large spaces, epic large. With an epic large space, you can get a roll of 4 doors, and I think it's possible. I think it might be possible to get a roll of 5 doors. I might be wrong. But I think it's possible to get 5 doors. I'd need to look at space, and I would need to look at what it tells you on here. There we go, a large. You can even get 5 doors on a rare? I did not know that. It's always 5 doors. Oh, it could be 6. Oh, because I've got 6 on it. Okay, yeah, so I've got 6 on an exalted large. All right, so it's always 5. It's always 5. So I'd be looking at large space. I'd be looking at large space. Large epics. Maybe even legendaries if you can. But, I mean, what's the price right now? Let's go and have a quick look. Let's have a look at space. Space is so cheap right now. It's ridiculous. Look at that. $860. $860. $800 for an exalted small. That's insane. In fact, how much do you get for that? You get 3 on a small. That's a shame. It's all about the exits, right? But even so, an exalted medium. That's a really, really good price for exalted mediums. But let's have a look at this. So, 800, that's just ridiculous. Epic medium, it's only 3 spaces. But that jump there, well, you can see in the price, right? It makes sense. But 860 for a rare large or 860 for an epic large, what are you going to do? It's the same price. It's the same price. Large legendary, 900. Yes, all day long. Buy yourself a large legendary space. Look at that. I think that's a good deal given what you can do in the future. 5 exits on a legendary space. You can put everything on one. You only need 1 space. Just attach everything to it. And then you don't have to worry about, oh no, I've only got a rare space, but now I bought a legendary workshop and I can't level it up. You never have that problem. Mythic large. Yeah, that ain't bad. That's not a bad price at all. Still 5 though, right? Still gives you 5, yeah? No, legendary's good for... Yeah, legendary's good. Mythic's best, but legendary's good for cracked. I'm getting... on a large legendary, on average, I'm definitely getting... I would say I'm getting at least, on average, a rare and 2 uncommons. But I'm also getting epics, rares, and uncommons, and I'm getting 2 rares and an uncommon, so it varies out. It is at the moment, yeah. So look, a large legendary is the same price, pretty much, as a large epic. Not much difference, but an epic large is the same as an epic rare. Epic rare is obviously too expensive right now. I wouldn't look at this. I wouldn't be looking at this right now. Medium one's like 174 there. 214. Like you just buy epic, right? Because you've got a whole nother step. Epic small, 84. Like I would ignore the rare, right? I just ignore the rare. Epic right now, I think epic right now. I think that's going to be changing. Now I'm not buying any more space. I don't need to, but legendary medium 240. Like if you're going to buy a 214, like you would pay the extra $30, right? You would pay the extra $30 and get a medium. There can't be that many of these. Jesus, there are. Yeah. I don't even want to know what I paid. I don't even want to know what I paid. I know that for an Exalted Small, they launched at 2,000. These launched at 2,800, and I paid 2,000 for these. My Exalted Smalls I paid 2,000 for. I remember that much. Jeez. All right. Well, cool. Good to know. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff right now that people aren't paying attention to. So if you wanted to, this is what I would be paying attention to. If you've got $1,000 and you want to know what to do in this game right now, I would. It's difficult, but what I would probably be doing right now, if you could, I would be buying a. I mean, I honestly, I'm tempted to say just buy the legendary large space, but what you really want is, I wouldn't get the rares. You could get the epic, but I mean, just for the price difference right now, I would probably be snagging this. Because it's just going to open up so much for you moving forward. But I would probably grab this right now. But here's the thing. You need a Time Warden. You just need a common Time Warden. So it might not be a good idea to get this. You might just want to go for a couple of, maybe go for 2 medium legendary spaces and a common Time Warden. And then for now, just take those cracked hourglasses and just dismantle them. It's not ideal. You're not going to get a lot for it, but I don't think that's a bad play. I really don't think that's a bad play. I mean, if I was coming into this game now, and depending on the budget, I mean, legendary large space, this is going to give you 5 exits. You can actually, right now, here's a little trick for you. You could buy this. You could put in a support ticket and you could rewrap this. As long as it hasn't been done already, you could rewrap this. But this is a variant 2 as well. Evermore variant 2. So here's another thing, a little bit of alpha for you. When you're buying a space and it's been unwrapped, look at the variants. Okay? This is a variant 0. This is a variant 1. This is a variant 2. Whilst at the moment, there is no guarantee that variants on spaces will have any meaning, it is assumed that the higher variant is a higher rarity. So it's assumed that variant 2 is the most sought after. So actually, this one, which is the most sought after, allegedly, is the cheapest. You can't rewrap space that was opened after Egyptian released. It might have been open before though. I don't know. You might not be able to do it. And if you can't, don't buy it for that reason. But you might be able to. But I wouldn't do that. If I've got this, I wouldn't because it's Evermore 2. But if I've got this one, I might see if I can. I might put in a support ticket. It might be account bound. I might be wrong. And if I am, don't take this as gospel. Things change a lot. But that being said, getting those exits are so valuable. Getting those large spaces, you're going to get more hourglasses that drop. So you're probably going to get, on average, you're going to get 2 to 3 cracked hourglasses. 2 to 3 on average. It's big time. Things do change a lot for sure. That's true. I mean, on it personally, for me, if you were to look at these 2 spaces, right, this one and this one, this is a variant 0 and this is a variant 2, right? Evermore, both Evermore. The variant 2 has 4 columns in the middle, whereas this one doesn't. Personally, I prefer the space that has no columns. It's easier to run through. It's so annoying getting caught up in columns as you're running through your space. I don't like the columns. I prefer tier 0 to tier 2. Do you know what, Vortex? I think that if you go for a mythic medium, that's a good shout. And then it might not even be after the 10th. You may see some price action after the 10th. If you're going to buy a Time Warden, though, I would argue probably wait until after the 20th. Wait until the postcard release, because you're more than likely going to see an influx of Time Wardens. The price should come down as a result of that. Again, I might be wrong. It's only a thesis. But if that works, then you're probably going to be in a position where you can look at picking up a Time Warden, maybe a bit cheaper, possibly. I would say that it's buying a larger space is planning for the future, because the best bonuses that you're going to get here are going to require 4 exits. 4 exits. And you're only going to get a 4 exit on an exalted medium or a large. So larges are going to have the best output later. Larges are going to have larges drop more hourglasses. They're going to have more. You can attach more to them. So yeah, you're going to get better boosts as a result. Now, obviously, a medium. I would just avoid small. Just avoid small. I would. Don't even look at small. Honestly, I don't think small's worth it personally. Medium and large, right? Look at the mediums. You could probably snag up 2 or 3 mediums, probably for the price of a large, right? Which means if you get 3, like, I don't know, how much are they? So large right now is, a large legendary is 1,000, right? What is a... Yeah, so look, you could buy 3 mediums cheaper than you could a large. Now, if you bought 3 mediums, you're going to have 9 exits. Now, bear in mind, you would need to use one of those exits to connect the next room. You would lose an exit because you need it to connect to the next room. So you're only going to have 2 workshops here. You'll have 2, 2, and 3. So 3, 4, 5. You'd have 7 workshops in total. If you bought 3 medium legendary, you would have 7 workshops. 7 workshops. All right. Whereas if you bought a large, you'd have 5 workshops. So you get an extra 2 workshops. But it's possible, if you have a large space, it is possible that the cracked hourglass doesn't drop. You might not get any. I think personally there could be extra workshops in the future. We've got mounts. We know we're going to get mounts in the game. We don't know yet how mounts are going to be distributed. Maybe skins for mounts come from the armory, but maybe they come from a new workshop. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We're expecting to get decorations. Where are you going to craft decorations? I fully expect there to be, and I think mounts will probably come into decorations, if anything. And I fully expect to see another workshop that caters to crafting things like footsteps, decals, decorations, and mounts. It makes sense to have another workshop for that. Potions can play a factor later. Absolutely. We also know that we're going to get skins for our gates. Like, we've seen that. We've seen skins for gates. There's a lot of stuff there. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we can consider. But yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment. I'm working on factoring this into my equation of what I build. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. But again, this is really only going to come. It's really only going to come from when we look at the image. I don't know where that image has gone. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I think it was in armories, right? Okay, it's only going to come from the rainbows, which are exotics and above. So that's why, for me, that's why I'm looking at exotics. Because for me, I'm looking at rainbow. Because I'm trying to plan ahead. And hopefully that's where it's going to add some more value. Because once people start buying exotics, because they want these rainbows, guess what? What do you think is going to happen to the price of the exalted space when people realize that the only way to get a rainbow is from an exotic workshop, and the only way to attach an exotic workshop is on an exalted space? You have to have an exalted space to attach an exotic workshop. So people that are pushing for rainbow are going to need exalted spaces. What do you think that's going to do to the price? A good play right now, if you've got $1,000 and you're saying, what do I do right now? Honestly, my genuinely honest opinion for you right now, go and buy that $800 exalted space and sit on it and wait. Because it was only 2 weeks ago they were selling for $1,400. So you got $1,000 and you want to know what to do right now, I would go on the market right now and I would buy that. And I would sit. That's what I would do. And I would wait. Because you're going to probably double your money. Now, obviously, you're not going to be involved in playing the game, but, you know, some of us bought stuff and have been sitting on it for 2 years. It depends on the outcome. And then what I would do is once this is profitable, I would use that to be able to grab myself probably like a legendary large and some workshops, because at that point you should hopefully be able to get cheaper common time wardens, and then you can start just saving up your cracked hourglasses. Buy this, and I would just dump it in, and I would just start collecting my hourglasses off of it and just hold on to them. Based on your collections, what were your average drops from a mythic medium? Vortex, do you know what? That's a really good question. The one metric that I've not tracked is what space dropped what. I would say that just from memory, running through on a mythic medium, you're looking at, I would say, an epic and a rare on average. Epic and a rare, one of each on average. I mean, don't quote me on that. I had a chance to buy Time Warden for $150 last week, and I bought an Epic Armory and an Epic Forge instead. I regret my decision since I can't make big time to craft. Stupid move. Just hold them. Hold them. You'll be fine. Look, I didn't buy any Time Wardens. I had an opportunity to buy them at $20 and I didn't. I'm kicking myself for that, right? I could quite easily be sitting on an absolute mountain right now. Like Big Yield. Big Yield is one of those incredible people that was very blessed to stay in and stay aware and alert, and has capitalized on that, which is why he's been on the front page of the leaderboard for so long. Because he did that. I've been in the game pretty much the same amount of time as Big Yield, but I didn't make smart moves like he did. He made much smarter moves than me. So I'm kicking myself as well, but at the same time, I'm still grateful to be here. I'm still grateful to be here. And I'm going to make good moves, and I'm going to make bad moves. You know, I'm going to make some good calls. I'm going to make some bad calls. I think the most important thing is for you to not beat yourself up too much. You know, it's all a good learning curve. I would definitely look at so one of the really good things I used to do, you might want to do this, you might not, but one of the really good things I used to do is I used to have a trading diary. So every time I made a trade, I would write down what was my entry, what was my stop loss, what's my take profit, what's the date, time, and then I would have a column for mindset. What mood am I in when I make this trade? Am I emotional? Am I tired? Am I angry? Am I acting on FOMO? Has something happened? Like, am I thinking irrationally? Am I thinking logically? And it was really interesting for me to be able to look back through the notes and see where I made my good trades and where I made my bad trades and my mindset. And there was a correlation between my mindset and my profits. And that caused me to download an app called Headspace, which is a incredibly valuable app, because look, we always act on things that we can see. There are so many unseen forces that we ignore. The most obvious example I can give you here is that if you go to the gym and you work out, you're not going to see any results. You go to the gym, you do one session, it won't change anything. You need consistency. You need to consistently go to the gym to be able to start to see results over time. And like a muscle growing, your mind works in the same way. You need to consistently train your mind through meditation, in my opinion, to be able to be effective. So for me, exercise is as vital as meditation. You need to work on your muscles, on your body, as much as your muscles in your mind. And so if you're going to be acting emotionally and you're going to be reacting to situations, the best way to counter that is to take a step back, take a deep breath. And the two things that I highly recommend more than anything in the world is the free app called Headspace, and go on YouTube and search for a guy called Wim Hof. Wimhof. Look into Wim Hof, look into Headspace. Those things will do you nothing but good, in my opinion. And that really made a difference to me when I was trading. So anyway, yep, the Iceman. Absolutely. The Iceman is the GOAT. Cold therapy. Swear by it. Cold showers every day. Might shrink your balls, but small balls are going to get round Wildy Shark's course a lot quicker. So yeah, cold therapy for the win. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope it's been valuable. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any more questions, pop them in the chat. I'll answer them now before we leave. But in about 5 minutes' time, I'm going to be heading off now. And like I said, I wasn't going to stream today. I just wanted to do it because so many of you followed on from Wildy Shark. I didn't kind of just want to leave you guys to disperse. I wanted to kind of give you some information that hopefully it's been valuable. Sorry we couldn't play. We will definitely play when we get a chance to. You saw what happened earlier, why we couldn't. But yeah, definitely. People loving the ice therapy. What do you think the price of Time Warden's going to be after the airdrop? I don't know if the Time Wardens are going to be affected after the airdrop, because I think some people might sweep the floor with their airdrop money. I think the price of the Time Wardens could come down after the postcard airdrop. But it depends. It depends on which airdrop you're talking about, because we've got the leaderboard airdrop and then we've got the postcard airdrop. The leaderboard airdrop, I don't know if it'll affect it that much, maybe a little bit, because if the token price comes down to 10 cents, hourglasses will come back down to like $8 or $9, and then Time Wardens will come back down to like $320, $300. After the postcards, an extra 2,000 Time Wardens going onto the marketplace, I think we can start to see people push the price down to like $250. Maybe even we'll see 200 again, possibly. That's what I'm hoping for, I'll be honest. Yes, I'll be sweeping the floor at 200. I'll be fighting the rest of you. But maybe we don't. Who knows? Maybe we miss it. Can I post a code? I mean, we've got so many codes in the chat. I would say yes, but I don't think there's any point right now. There's so many codes already. Everyone here is already playing. Also, by the way, I'm going to have ambassador codes that I'll be giving out soon, and we'll be doing stuff for our community. So if you are involved in my community, through the ambassador codes and stuff like that, we'll be doing some giveaways for anyone that uses our ambassador codes. But that's not going to come for another month or so yet. Would you find a tool for alerting to workshop completion, cracked airdrops helpful? I have one, the Clam Commander. I have one, and it's very helpful. We built it ourselves. And yes, I highly recommend it. It's very good to have. It's not ready for the public yet. I'm not going to share it because it's not because I don't want to, but there's a big difference between using something for yourself and then getting it ready for other people to use. It requires a lot more time, effort, attention, and support for other people to use it publicly, which is why I'm not releasing it. But yeah, I definitely have something that I have an alert that lets me know when I'm due to collect cracked hourglasses. All right, so if you're on Twitch, the only good, decent thing that we can do right now is find someone playing big time. So please hang around. Let's go raid someone. It seems absolutely wrong to leave and not go and find someone. So let's find someone. This could be cool. I want to find someone that doesn't have many viewers so we can go and raid them. It's such an incredible feeling when you do that. Let's just see what their stream's like. Oh, we're getting ads. All right, hold on. We're going to see if we can find someone. I really want to go and raid someone. Please join me in doing this. I will hang around in their stream for a minute. I love doing it. It's such an awesome feeling. It's part of the community and what we're all about. So hold on a sec. Let's see.
Hello and welcome.
No, I want to find someone on stream that's actually got their camera on. None of these people have their camera on. I want to find someone who's actually on stream who's playing. Really? Are there not that many people? We're playing big time right now. Let's see if I can find someone. No, that's World of Warcraft. We don't want that. Has no one got a camera on anymore? What's going on? All right, let's see.
Look, don't touch. If you break it, you buy it.
All right. Let's see if we can find someone. Who should we tell me stream chat? Who should we find? Click on big time under their name. Oh boom. Here, oh wow, here we go. Who we got? Exotic MTG. All right, so we know that he's a good streamer. Let's go check him out. I kind of want to go and find someone with not many views because I do love doing that. But I'm going to put you in some really good hands with Exotic. Exotic's a great streamer. Yeah, Exotic's a great streamer. We're going to go and raid Exotic. He's a great streamer. You have a lot of fun watching him. And then what we'll do is next time we do a stream, we'll find someone without many views, and we'll go, oh, actually, guys, let's do this. Toasted Waffles is such an incredible guy. A lot of time for Toasted Waffles. Guys, please join me. Just join me. I want to watch this. I want to see this. I want to make sure, though, that he's got audio on. Hold on. Is he talking? Yeah, let's go and raid him. He's got 2 viewers. Guys, let's do this. It's going to be awesome. Please come and join me with this. It's going to be awesome. He's such a great guy. I need to just pop over here quickly. All right, let me do this. We're going to go and do a raid. We'll do a giveaway on the next stream, okay? I'm not going to do one today because I haven't got time to manage it. But next one, we will absolutely do a giveaway. So make sure you join us. Here we go. Ready, guys? We're going to go and do a raid. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really, really grateful. I appreciate you. Go and join. Show some love. Let's go show some love. Exotic's a great guy as well. We'll absolutely raid him next time. But right now, we're going to go and raid. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to join you on this raid. Thanks so much for everything today. I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.